what's going on, people? It's that dude named Dave, and I'm back. Before we get started, no struggle streaming. Press a 1 if you can hear me. Press 2 if you can't. Let's go. Let me see who's in the building here, guys. We're going to get started here in a second. I'm not going to long stroke y'all too much. We're going to get to the video to say a few things, because, lots going on. Let's see here. I see DeAndre is first in the building here. Got to give this a first like because I know it's going to be good. Yeah, what's going on, DeAndre? How you doing? Gavin, how you doing, man? Sheila's in the house. I see you, Sheila. Larry, Marco. Hey. How y'all doing? Okay, I hear some of y'all can hear me there with the ones there. Vilmatas, how you doing? Is that Vilmontas? I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. All right. Let me see here. Give me a second, guys. We just getting started here. It's Monday evening, Monday afternoon, depending on where you're at, So, man, so happy to be back, Before we get started, you know what we gotta do here. Likes up. If you walked into the building, press the like button. You know how we do here. Come on, we don't want no moonlighting. Just support the algorithm. That's what we do here. All right, guys, let's see here. Who else? Let's do this here. Let me do this here. All right, hope all y'all having a good Monday, man. We're fresh off the weekend. Man, just in case, like I said, I came back on Saturday, so I have a Saturday live stream up there. There was no reaction video, just giving you guys an update what happened to me for 2 weeks, and then we came back with reaction yesterday. Wow. If y'all was here on yesterday on Sunday, that was crazy, wasn't it? That was something else with the Kendra G reaction. Everybody thought that hell had frozen over. Since we started here, I don't need the music right now. We getting this ball going here. Oh my God, that video yesterday that we did, man, shout out to everybody in the tribe who was here. Man, that Kendra video, we thought hell had frozen over. We couldn't believe that she was talking sensible. We all were in the chat like, what the heck is going on? Lord have mercy. So here we are. We back here today. We back on a Monday here. I'm not going to long stroke y'all too much here. It's just real fast here. How's y'all football teams doing? Oh my God. All I got to say is, man, football's off to a hot start, slow start, parity, mediocrity, whatever you want to call it. Thank God, like I said, I don't do fancy football. After I got done with the live stream, I went and got caught up all the football games yesterday. And I was like, man, is it me or Tom Brady and, Aaron Rodgers looking kind of old? Either they old or they lines looking old, whatever the case may be. So thank God I'm not involved in that mess. So I don't know people who got football, who's die hard in my tribe here. I feel for you. No doubt here. And also, basketball season started up really fast. Just want to get this off my chest really fast. Basketball season. Man, is it me or how's it 3 games into the season, the Lakers are done? The Lakers are done already. I don't know what they're going to do with this Russell Westbrook situation here. They're going to need to trade him or whatever, send him home, whatever. But they look done after 3 games, man. LeBron is going for the scoring record, So I just have to get that off my chest, This is not a sports show. I just happen to be flipping through the channels. I got done, the show. And I'm like, man, this is some crazy stuff going on here, So also, one more thing, too. Before we get to the video here, because like I said, I'm not going to long stroke. I'm known to long stroke. I am known to go ahead and go 20, 30, 40 minutes of my monologue before I get to the video. But we're not going to do that today. I just want to get a few things off here. Yeah, Sheila, it's just 3 games into the season. The Lakers look bad. They looking down bad. I mean, Russell Westbrook like he needs to retire. I don't know what the case may be. Man, this is not a sports show. Like I said, I talk about boxing. Bud ducked. I don't care what anybody says. Bud Crawford ducked, y'all. I don't care who you are. If y'all supporting him, y'all crazy. If you ain't on the take, you shouldn't be supporting that man. But yeah, the Lakers looking bad, man. Hey, what's going on, Rod? How you doing, man? What's going on? Shout you out, bro. So I just happened to check that in. I haven't even got a chance to watch any Bulls games yet. So, the season just getting started in full effect. So we'll see how it goes with basketball. We know this is not a basketball show. We know this is not a boxing show. You guys hear me talk about boxing all the time and things of that nature. So just give me 1 second here. Just checking out my stuff here. All right. Got that there. Give me 1 second here. We're just getting started here, guys. Give me 1 second here. Okay. Give me 1 second here. Here we go. All right. Yeah. She was like, I'm gonna have to check it out. I got games recorded, haven't watched it yet. Man, I don't even want to watch it. If you got Laker games recorded, you ain't trying to watch that. You ain't trying to watch that because, man, they just look pathetic. They're the worst shooting team in the NBA. They look horrible. Oh my God. Westbrook is like what, 1 for 12 from 3-point range? Oh my God. He's just throwing up bricks after bricks after bricks. You know what I mean? So that is what it is. And before I move on here, like I said, 2 shows that I watched yesterday that I'm diehard on. Okay. I'm actually watching Raising Kanan. I'm going to get to the video in a second, real fast. Raising Kanan, that was the end of season 2, I believe. And oh my God, I was bugging about that. So I ain't gonna do no spoilers. Just know that I love the Power universe. I like watching 50 Cent shows. You know, I watched the whole first series of Power. I like the second show with the son now and everything. Tommy's in Chicago. And now we got Raising Kanan to just finish here. Hey man, that's my show. That's my show. The way it ended, ooh boy, all I gotta say is it was a bloodbath. And that's what I'm talking about. Give me that bloodbath. She was like, I probably shut it down after 5 minutes. I don't blame you. You know. And last but not least, y'all hear me talk about House of Dragons. Oh, you can tell this is a season 1 setup season, but man, we know how the war got started now. Oh man, I was bugging out. They had the little mini dragon fight and everything. Oh man, and then not to give it away, you have to know the show. But the uncle accidentally killed his nephew and everything. Oh man. But the nephew had took out his uncle's eye like 10 years earlier. Oh man, come on, man. Oh man, I love it. But you know what though? The season's ended, and they're saying like it won't be another season till like 2024 because we're already into 2023, and they're not even bringing it back this time next year. So they're probably changing the schedule for season 2. So we gotta wait like a whole year or something like that. So that's just crazy. Hey, what's going on, Mike? How's it going, man? Yeah. So I have to get that off my chest. I got my favorite Sunday shows. So real fast. TD&D roll call, city, state, zip, area code, rep where you're from. You know me, like I always say, Chicagoland suburb, 630 stand up. That's where I'm at here. We're gonna get to this talk here. Everybody's been talking about it, so I want to put my spin on it, for the time that I do have today. So let me know where y'all from. Rep where you from here. Let me know where y'all coming from. If y'all chatting in the chat here, my chat ninjas, my ain't-ish crew, holla at your boy. What y'all doing here? Where y'all at today? If y'all wondering, I got me a slushie. It was a guilty pleasure, man. I normally don't do these, but man, I was out and about, so I got to get me a slushie. So where y'all at, man? Let me know some of y'all where y'all from, and we're going to get started here. We're going to get to the video in a second, man, with Nafis, Baku, and Coach Greg Adams. Yeah. Marco's like ATL all day. Representing ATL. I see you. Larry, Indiana, 765. All right, like I said, next door. Mike, Atlanta Public, Lakeland, Florida. I see you. Gavin's in Crowley. Okay. You in Publix? You in the grocery store right now, Mike? Are you in the grocery store right now watching me? Oh, is that what Publix is now, South? I may have got mixed up with another store. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's like, ooh, the coach. Yeah, H-Town, Rod. I see you. Let's go Astros. Hey, how your Astros doing, Rod? Are you happy? You happy over there with your squad? I mean, last time I don't keep up with baseball no more. I used to be diehard baseball. Mike's like, yeah, shopping. Last time I heard, y'all out there cheating. Y'all still out there cheating, Rod? Come on, man. Y'all still out there cheating? World Series. Did y'all cheat to get to the World Series, man? You gotta let me know, man. I don't keep up with baseball. All I know is that y'all out there doing some shady things. Y'all suspending coaches, and then y'all come back, and then you come back in, y'all still winning, stealing signs and stuff like that, got cameras and everything. Like, for real, y'all doing some extra for the 2020s, man. I mean, I'm just trying to figure, are y'all cheating or y'all winning clean now? Come on, Rod, you kind of silent, man. Or did you ghost me here? I'm gonna get started in a second here. I'm just gonna kill what Rod got to say about his cheating squad here. I don't keep up with baseball anymore. Listen, why you bringing up old stuff? Rod says. It's all good, man. Mike's like, cheating gets you to the World Series 2 years in a row. Guess it's good. Hey, man, I don't watch baseball. I don't got a pony in the race. I do not have a pony in the race. It's all good though. So let's get to it, guys. let's get to it. We're gonna get straight into it here, guys. I don't know how much time I got time today, but I figure I'll get to it. The video I'm doing is the original interaction. I know other content creators had touched it, and then people are going on the other video just pearly things. Oh man, Nafis is having a bad week. Look like he's just having a bad month, right? It looks like he's just having a bad month. And you want to know something? Before we get started, let me just let you know my background here about both people involved in today's video that we want to discuss here, right? Let me be honest. I'm not the biggest fan of Coach Greg Adams. Not because I don't like him. So just let me get into it here. It's not because I don't like him. It's just like everybody got certain styles and, the way, just the way they're delivering things of that nature. And there are certain times I will watch him and then certain times I won't. And especially when you become a content creator, it's hard to keep up with other content creators, But before I got into space, you have to know that you kind of watch other people to kind of see when you say you want to get into this, like, okay, what do I want to do? What kind of style do I want to pattern? You kind of borrow from everybody a little bit till you find your own niche, till you find your own groove, and then you keep moving. But I will admit, though, every once in a while, if he's on and, and none of my favorites are on YouTube that I'm checking for when I'm searching, I will check out one of his live streams. I believe he does like early midday, like 12, 1 o'clock during the day. I mean, just like a couple of weeks ago, I may have watched one of his live streams for like the first time. I call like an hour of it. But, then there'll be other times I'll flip onto for like 5 or 10 minutes and, and I keep it moving. She was like, I stopped watching the coach. Rod's like, I just learned who both they are like 2 weeks ago. See, okay, some of y'all don't know. Right? I know who you are. Like, not just, like I recognize him. He does have some information that when he drops, I'm like, yeah, he could drop some gems, he drops some clues, but his style, his taste is not for me. It's not a diss, just like I'm not for everybody. And I can understand that, And when it comes to Hafiz, I keep calling him Hafiz. Oh man. Shout out to me messing up his name. So I actually used to be a fan, you can say, to a degree, right? I guess not a fan, but I did watch the roommates content from time to time. Not like every day religiously. It's not like, how we watched the dear great Kevin Samuels. When Kevin was on, we watched him. We turned on, late at night, Tuesdays and Thursdays, whatever. But if he dropped the video, give me 1 second here. I got this other laptop going here. My bad, y'all. I got too many computers here. Sorry about that. Lord have mercy. But when it comes to Nafis, it's like I check out the roommates, but it wasn't like I was digging for them all the time. Matter of fact, I even did a reaction video when he actually interviewed Kevin Samuels. So you see that interview, you see the AMS interview, you'll see some of the content they're dropping, and you're kind of thinking, certain people move a certain way. So in a sense, you can say, yeah, I didn't watch them all the time, but if there was a content that they were dropping, and I felt that's like, okay, I'll take a look at it, So there was some sense of, yeah, I kind of rock with both of them, but not fully, if they're on, I'll see if it is. If not, I'll keep them. But it wasn't like I didn't like them. It wasn't like it was like distrust, It wasn't like, here's this cat again, I'm good. Well, let me block this. I don't want to see this in my stream no more. I don't want to see this in my feed no more. It wasn't like that, So when I first heard about the video, I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to watch this out because, to check out this, let me see, what's the name of the podcast? Valuetainment Money. So to do a collab like this, you're having, different specters of YouTube come together and to talk about certain items. I'm like, all right, this is interesting. This could be good. We can have some good dialogue, some good content, but we all know what kind of happened to a degree. But here's the thing. I still haven't watched the entire thing. It's like over 2.5 hours long, right? So I figured, we'll get into it. We don't get to 2.5 hours today. I know I don't have that, you know what I mean? But I figure we'll get to it and then we can kind of pick apart some of the pieces that I was like, yo, are we serious? Is Hafiz really talking this way? Like, real talk, like, it caught me off guard, was like, hey, wait a minute. And then we heard other content creators like, maybe I'm off. I'm like, maybe I'm one-sided here. For a second I'm thinking, this can't be. But what we come to learn in society, what we come to learn is that you let people talk long enough, they will reveal who they really are, right? We do this with women all the time. We talk about women and saying we let them talk long enough, but the same thing is also with men. You know, we think guys run a certain way. We think that we're like-minded. It's not like about being an echo chamber, but you like to see people move in a certain way. It's like, okay, you think that he's someone that's smart and educated and you're moving in certain circles. Like, okay, cool. But then when you find out something else, it's like, whoa, what just happened here? You know? What's going on, Ziggy? Hey, what's going on, Daniel? How you doing? Let's get these likes up, you know, if y'all just came in the building. So I figured that let's get to the video. Let's us discuss it. I know other content creators are, but maybe you didn't get a chance to be in the chat to talk about this as well. She was like, I never heard of Hafiz. Yes, I get that. Some people haven't heard of this guy before, but a lot of y'all heard of him now. A lot of y'all heard of him now. Daniel's like, I've been watched Hafiz for time. Can't believe that's how he feels. That's how a lot of us. There's some people who don't know who he is, and there's a lot of us saying, oh wow, is this how he moves? This is how he gets down. So how about this, guys? We all feel a certain type of way, but let's discuss this together. Let's bring the video up and let's break this down here. Let's chop it up and see what we got here. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm bringing the video up now. I guess I'm not long stroking y'all here. I'm here. You can start the video. What's going on, Roy? So I was waiting for you, huh? All right, let's do this here. Oops. All right, yeah. Like I told you, I wasn't gonna long stroke y'all today. Yeah, I said, well, let's get to the video here. So I want to talk about a few things and build it up, and let's have this conversation here because we talk about women being chameleons. What about men who we think moves a certain way, but they're actually something different? How do we react? How do we treat them going forward here? I mean, some of us, are we so judgmental where that, you know, then we go to a certain way of how we cast our aspersions, you know? It's kind of weird at how we deal this balancing act, especially in the red pill community here. Now, let me just state here, I'm letting you guys know, I'm not saying that I am part of the manosphere community. I am just saying certain words because the YouTube algorithm. I like to say more of men's centric content. And things are moving in a different direction. And thank God that we have this centric of topics here for men that we can go ahead and discuss that we didn't have years ago. We were silenced, you know, or like we always hear the sign language, like who heard you? We talk about guys, you always had a place to talk about this, but really we can really talk about this here. You know what I mean? Rod's like, no long show, just quick pumps. I feel you. Daniel says he has a podcast called The Roommates, which is based on encouraging men to self-improve and become the best version of themselves. Yeah. The irony of that podcast of how he's moving today. Well, we're gonna get to it. No, though. How about this here? I'll keep my thoughts right now until we get to certain points of the video. So let's get to the video, guys. Let's do it here right now. I'm not starting at the very, very beginning. I moved it to the part of the conversation that picks up here. So let's do this here, guys. Since y'all here, let's get it going. Go ahead.
Yes, I am a wife. I've been married for 21 years. I have 3 children, and I make my money through adult entertainment as well as through my other business endeavors through Wet Space and running my own companies. Yeah.
Got it. Hafiz.
Yeah, so married and make my primary revenue through the Roommates podcast.
And I didn't know, I thought you had a girlfriend. You're married.
Yeah.
Okay. How long you been married for?
About a year.
Okay, so this is all new.
Yeah,
this is why this coming. So congratulations,
Thank you
bro.
so much. Appreciate it.
I didn't even know. I didn't catch an invite, nothing. Coach, go ahead.
That's key here, guys. I'm not gonna do a lot of pause in here. Hey, what's going on, Just Mo? Okay. I'm not gonna do a lot. Daniel's like, she's a married Triple X star. We're gonna get into that, Daniel. Yeah, she has an OnlyFans page, that this girl here. So this makes the conversation very interesting, guys. But here's the thing here. Hafiz just got married. He is in the honeymoon phase. That's right, Rod. You know, he's still feeling good right now. You know, he got his queen. They getting it in every single night. You know what I'm saying? So that is a level that we want to maintain here. That here is a young man. I believe he's only 32 years old. And I'm saying that for prep because I'm 42 years old. So you got to understand that how I feel about certain things. When someone younger is going to be trying to give lessons or tools, I need to know what you're rocking with to try to give me some keys to the game. Because I know that when I talk, there's a lot of guys who are older than me, but they reach out to me because they know that when I do talk about something that I know, I'm spitting facts. You know what I'm saying? I'm going through my experience and giving you guys the game as well. I talk about most of my L's more than I talk about my W's. And older cats in the game here will email me or comment aside saying, hey, that dude, hey, I know I'm older than you, but you ain't lying. You know what I'm saying? So when I see someone younger, I want to know how you're moving to see, okay, is this guy young? Is this guy older beyond his years, or is he just talking shit? You know what I'm saying? So I just want to put that to a level here. Here's a young man, 32 years old. You guys know him from the roommate, some of you do. Some of you guys have maybe just heard about him just recently, but he's 32 and he's only been married for a year. Now let's continue.
Go ahead.
And I'm single, bachelor, well, divorcee, and I make money through YouTube content and then coaching, book
Okay.
sales, and so forth and so on.
Got it. So divorcee.
Divorcee.
All right, so that's where we'll start this conversation because I've seen a ton of your content online, and I appreciate a lot of it. I really do.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you talk about you don't date, right? You talk about there's a lot of stuff you talk about, but just real quick, how long were you married? How long you been single now?
Married for almost about 9 years. It was just short of 9 years. I got out before the valuable 10-year clock in California, which would have been very deadly for me. So I got out right in time. It
Financially
was a
speaking,
gift.
that's where basically you
Financially
get screwed.
speaking, you
10
get
years.
screwed over at the 10-year and 1 day mark. So
Okay.
I actually saw the light, and I was gifted an opportunity to leave that union. So it was actually fantastic. Yeah.
And how long you been single now?
Since it's been about a decade. So
Okay, gotcha.
I've been
Interesting.
in these streets for about a decade. Yeah.
In these streets. And how old are you now?
46.
What?
46.
Yep.
Okay. Well, because you got the young.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Hold up here. Okay. Whoa, that caught me off guard there. Hold on here. I'm letting you guys know I like to stop a lot to break things down. This video, I'm gonna let things play. I only stopping when needed here. First things first here. First thing, smart for Coach to be getting his divorce in California before the 10-year mark, the 9 years, because you know what happens after 10 years. Guys get screwed if you don't got a prenup. And he's been single now for 10 years. So he's literally had two sides of the coin of being in a relationship, not only being in a relationship, but being married close to 10 years and then being out in the game now for another 10 years. Another thing, like y'all saying here, Tribe, he's 46. Did y'all know that he was 46? Roy's like, please no save. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Zigga super cent save a day. See, 46, Daniel Wright. I thought he was 56. He said, Rod says 46. She was like, I thought 49, 50 something. Coach is only 4 years older than me. Or check us out here. Depending on the birthday, he might be only 3.5. Because we're close to the end of the year now. My next birthday, I'll be 43 coming up here. So that really threw me for a loop here. I didn't know that Coach was only 40. That's actually a good thing. He's only 46. I just thought he was older than that. That threw me for a loop, guys. Wow. Okay, let's get into this here, guys. That really changed things here for me. I really thought he was in his 50s, guys. Woo, Lord. Rod, like 46 is 5 years away from me. I'm not gonna look like that. I'm still fine. Dang, Rod. What's going on, Jay Nelson? How's it going? Glad to catch you. Glad to catch me. That's what's up, man. All right, let's continue.
Young face and the gray beard.
People don't know, man. People all of a sudden, they come on and they're like, look at this 57-year-old. And then I have other people say I look 32 if I shaved it. I don't care.
That's the whole thing.
But look at I always tell people, look at my chocolate skin. That's going to tell you how old somebody is.
If I look at your face, I'm thinking 36.
Right.
Looking at your beard, I'm thinking 119. I don't know, brother.
Hey, man, that comes from, this comes from almost a decade of marriage.
Exactly.
And a couple of years of divorce. So that's what's going to happen from there.
Well, respect.
Yeah.
Well, because I've been watching so much of your content, I want to start right where basically when I first heard this, I was like, who said that? And then they said it was you. It was something called protecting your meat. Have you heard about this? Protecting your meat. And meat standing for your money, your energy, your attention, and your time. And basically you've said that all relationships are transactional and that meat
Protect
is the
y'all
value that
meat.
you're given to women. So break down what this meat is and how can men protect their meat.
I want to hear
Well,
this
the
now.
funny thing, when you use that phrase, protect your meat, obviously people are going to think, you
Oh,
know
yeah.
what? You know
Exactly.
what I mean? But I try to use that as a metaphor to say, try to show men where your value is. A lot of times people will give men an idea, oh, there's other things that are included in this, but it all boils down to, especially when you get to a point of marriage.
Go on, Bronx
what is your
Geek.
meat, your energy that you're going to put in. Typically, men give energy to women. Women pretty much don't reciprocate that back. I've never seen many men that spend a significant time with women and then come out energized, even in the bedroom. Most of the time, they're going to probably fall asleep within 15 minutes. But in terms of attention, if you remove any of these things, attention, if you remove these things, you lose the marriage, right? Time is a significant value for men. And matter of fact, we call it, and also Napoleon Hill calls it, your most important asset. And many men will spend hours on end pursuing relationships, obtaining relationships, keeping the relationship alive. And then many times they will lose the relationship if they stop giving the time. Now, the money part of it, everybody knows it's all transactional. You know, you've had girlfriends, you've tried to pursue women, you're going to give up money. Now, it's not a bad thing that the relationships are transactional. So when I say relationships are transactional, it's not a complaint. Many people think it's a complaint, but it's just the reality. And we have to accept that reality.
Gotcha. You've
Okay, real fast. I like that, protect your meat. You know what I'm saying? Like the little acronyms, like everybody got their little thing, especially on YouTube. When you set yourself a career in the channel, you're in self-help, you're trying to help other people, and especially with Coach Greg Adams. He's here to help men, things of that nature. I can respect that. Like I said, just because I don't watch him every day or I'm not like subscribed to his content like that, doesn't mean that I don't rock if he's saying something dope or, he makes a good point, that sounds logical. That sounds good, Hey, guys, protect your meat. What's going on, Jew? How you doing? NH Crew in the house. I see you, man. That's right, Z. Get these likes up, man. Help your boy out. I appreciate that, Z. That's my man, 50 grand. So I like that. I'm seeing that. So we're off to a good start right now, right? We're hearing how, he approaches certain things. So let's continue now. Let's get more into the discussion.
So you've never seen Coach's content ever? Really?
I'm aware of almost everybody in the space, kind of where Coach is at. A lot of people I may have heard ideas from other people, but I don't think I've actually sat down and watched anything from like online. I may have seen like videos or like reactions to certain people, but I've never actually sat down and said, okay, let me sit down and hear him. From my memory, it may have occurred in the past, but from my memory, I can't like quote ideologies or philosophies that he holds currently.
But when you hear someone say, all right, protect your meat.
Wait, before we move on here, right? What's going on, Casanova? Before we move on here, right? I find that very interesting. It's not about the party saying that, like how, like if you see somebody, it's like, I don't look for his content, I know his ideologies. Like, I don't know like Coach Greg Adams' full ideologies, but I know the way he moves, right? And my thing is that once you get into the space here, you kind of know of people. Doesn't mean you watch them every day. Like I said, I don't watch Coach Greg Adams every day, right? I know of Hafiz from the roommate. Doesn't mean I watch them every day. Maybe it's just me. I don't know, guys, what do you think? Is it just me? But me personally, like even before I created my channel and when I knew I was gonna get into this space, I did kind of watch other people just to see what they were talking about. Just kind of curious what other guys, how they were feeling this red pill community, right? Like I watched the roommates. I watch Coach Greg Adams. I know Coach Greg Adams, I don't know if it's how true it is or not, but him and Rollo Tomasi don't get along. I was watching a video the other day. I'm not even the bigger Rollo Tomasi fan, but he do have some gems to drop from time to time. Just because I don't rock with you fully, I will go ahead and say, oh, what's this video about? Okay, you know what? That's not too bad. Or another thing is like, okay, you know what? But I'm not searching for them. It's just how my YouTube algorithm works, So I'm not actively looking for other guys, but I know of people. You know what I mean? Like I said, Rollo Tomasi, everybody will know about the Fresh and Fit crew because they're the big time people, we other people in this space here. You may not know of them because you don't rock with them because you're a content creator. But for me, I just kind of find that kind of weird saying that you don't know who they are, especially someone like, if someone like brand new like me, I can say you don't know who I am. I would have been here for like 8 months, right? So even though that I've been growing kind of fast in a short period of time, 13,000 subs, we building the army, we building the tribe, we going strong here. I've only been here for 8 months. Coach Greg Adams been here for like 5-6 years. The roommate's been around for years as well. So my thing is that if you've been in this space for years, you kind of bump across them in your YouTube algorithm. Is it me? Maybe I'm off. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm thinking from a different logical standpoint here, and this is just how I move and just how I go, you know what I'm saying? So I just found that kind of weird when he said that, because even though there could be a period of time that I didn't watch Coach Greg Allen for 5 months, I still know who he was, so that's just me. What's going on, P. Lee? How's it going, man? Jew B's like, I agree with Carl. Lies, lies, and more lies. Gerard's like, he's already talking too much. Hey, man, we're going to get into it here. We're going to talk about a little bit more here. So I'm letting the video cook. I'm letting certain segments go, and I'm stopping where I need to be here. So let's continue, guys.
And you're hearing him break that down. What's the first thing that comes to mind to you?
It sounds good. You know, like I think everyone should protect their money. Everyone should protect their time. Right? Like, I think that sounds good. It's just, how is that fleshed out? That's what I'm just
Going on,
I'm
Rhino?
curious about, right? Because I think sometimes what I love about what you do so much, Adam, and I have to shout out what you're doing, is that you bring in people from different sides. You know, I'm really interested in, you know, hearing more about your life. I think it's an interesting dynamic, mom and OnlyFans. Were you the one who sat down with Ruslan?
I was.
Okay,
I
so
love to
I love what you do, Adam, because what you do is you provide an opportunity from different people to hear a myriad of ideas. I feel like a lot of times people on the internet sit in these silos of just one type of content, one type of information. And so to me, I'm very interested in hearing all the unique different ideas so that the men can sit down and choose what is actually the best. What is actually going to tangibly improve people's lives. Because to me, that's all that matters. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it's from me or Greg or Adam or Ali. If the information makes you a better man, makes you a better father, you may not feel this way, but makes you a better husband, if it makes you better, that's a win. I don't care who it comes from. And so I love the ability of unique ideas to being able to be discussed today. And I just hope the best idea always wins.
I love that.
That's interesting. I'm stopping that there for a reason here. Because now we're gonna get into the meat and potatoes of this video here. You heard what he said? He says, whatever makes you better, I'm all for that. And I'm the same way too. I'm gonna give you guys a good example here, right? You can't get me to join no church whatsoever. You can't to save you guys' lives here. I'm only 42 years old, and I bet you I've forgotten more Bible than most of y'all combined. My head was stuck in Biblioteca, the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my God. The stuff that I had to do growing up and what I had to learn, wow, oh, wow, right? But here's the thing, though, right? And most men are leaving the churches. But I will say this, though. There are some men who do need structure. There are some people who do need that organization, even though that I don't agree with it. So I say that if Allah can make you a better man, I'm all for it. Just don't ask me to come to the mosque. If Jesus can make you a better man than before, it can turn you from a Pookie and a Ray Ray to a good upper class person, I'm all for it. Just don't ask me to come to church. So I'm pointing that out to say, he is stating that, but does he actually live by that? Or is he about hypocrisy here? Right? Because I find that funny for him to say that what makes people better, but does he really truly believe with that? Or does he only believe what he feels what makes people better? That's the key point in mind here. Carl's like, the Bible is a big book of fairy tales. Hey, man, I ain't mad with that either. You know, I'm just giving you the point that what I'm saying here, that even though that I don't agree with it, if it has changed men, right? That's a fact, right? It has changed men. I ain't down for it, but it has changed men for the better. So if something of structure can make a Pookie and Ray Ray into a better person, I'm all for it. My thing is that I know what quote unquote truth does you want to say here, and I just not my cup of tea. But you get what I'm saying here. I'm not going to throw the baby out the bathwater because we live in an imperfect world, and some people need certain things to get by, and some people before the church were just even worse off. So you know what I'm saying? So I am not completely turned off by it. I know what I won't do. I give my opinion on it. I'm not going to tell you not to do it, but if you ask me, I'm going to give you what I know from my breakdowns. See what I'm saying here? So I wanted to point out about Hafiz here, what he stated here in the beginning. So now let's get into it here, real more here. Jews like the Bible. I'd rather read Spider-Man. This is true and more interesting. I feel you, man. About to do it like Corey said, follow him around a week. Okay, Bronze Geek. Let's see here. What are y'all talking about? Okay. Brock's like, Hafiz sold out. He used to sound sensible, but after knowing he's married, I can see he changed or he's getting money to switch. I hear that, man. Here's the thing. A lot of guys in this space here are married guys. A lot of guys are married in this space. The question is, how do they move in their marriage? Are they drifters? Things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So let's continue, guys. Let's get into it.
Here's what I'll say, and I appreciate that, Hafiz. I'm not an ideologue, okay? I'm a person who I'm more of an arbiter of conversation, an arbiter of truth, an arbiter of dialogue. I want people to have conversations, and sometimes they might be uncomfortable conversations. Sometimes they might say, you know what, coach, you ain't no shit in the audience right there. And the Hafiz, man, bro, I gotta tell you, respect, bro, but you're an idiot, bro. Or Ali, you're gorgeous, but you shouldn't be doing
Javon.
this. Or all good. Everyone, different strokes for different folks. But at the end of the day, what we want is the audience to get clear on what they want in life. That's why we say we want to get you paid, laid, and do it your way. It's your one life. I don't want you to have to live a life that's not yours. Okay. And there's so many people walking on eggshells these days. And there's so many people that are just basically trying to transform what they should say or shouldn't say. And on a show like this, it's like, just do you.
And to be fair, to your point here, a lot of men are kind of pushed into one direction based on a few things. And some people say, hey, don't you want to get married? Don't you want to have kids? And a lot of men are uncomfortable with it because of what comes with it. And people will not really include what that is. And then he finds himself in it. And then he finds himself alone when it doesn't work out. The people that kind of told him to go that way obviously leave them, they leave him hanging. And that's where a lot of the frustration comes from. So it's a beautiful thing that now, in the first time in 70 years, men have the microphone. We have the power.
For the first time in how long?
70 years.
What do you mean the first time in 70 years?
Well, if you think about it,
I want
you're old enough to remember this. You remember Ricky Lake. You remember Sally Jesse Raphael. You remember Oprah Winfrey.
Yes.
At that time, there was no counter opinion. There was no opportunity for men to say anything, even if.
What do you mean? There was Phil Donahue, and there was
and you know
Dr. Drew has been around forever.
Well, as you guys know, those guys don't. Those guys.
Jerry Springer, yes.
You know, in order to.
I got to pause that right here. You see how fast when Coach was talking about how we got the mic for the first time, and then what? No disrespect to the host here. He's going to go to Phil Donahue. Oh, girls like Jerry Springer, a.k.a. Kendra Springer, now that we're seeing when I do the reactions, things of that nature. Or those shows, before they continue here, all those other shows, you say August like Dom is a pander. Knows the biggest pander? Montel Williams. Oh my God. Hey, before I miss my point here, hey, shout out to Brock with the $10 hour showing some love for my brother Dave. Oh man. What's going on, Brock? Yeah. Salute, brother. The first drop of the day, man. I appreciate you, Brock. Hey, Brock, you come hard all the time. You came yesterday. You always showing some love. I appreciate you, man. Everybody likes up, and then anybody dropping supers or cash apps, I appreciate the donations. Y'all showing some mad love. Thank you. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate that, Brock. Man, showing that love here. You said Donahue was a panner. Montel Williams. I remember when I first saw it, I was like, yo, like when you had Arsenio Hall as late night TV, late night talk, and then we saw him, I said, oh, we got another black man on TV, right? But what was he doing? Remember he did that pose in the front of the stage? He'd be like this. Be pandering to women, yo. Be pandering to women, man. I swear, all those shows pander to women. Because you know why? Whenever you hear someone like me talk the way I talk, you think that a person like me, what I talk, could last on regular daytime TV? And I'm kind of chill. Imagine all the other men here in this space here who was talking, who was educating, who's entertaining you, who's giving you those bare bones. That's not catering to the crowd of those shows back then. That's why Coach is like, we got the mic fine for the first time, because if men was freely able to speak how he wanted to speak here, that's not going on daytime TV. And whenever shows were developed for network TV, they didn't last nothing but a season if they were lucky. They would last a season if you're lucky. I remember the show, BET, they tried to have like a late night men's show with black men, and that lasted like 6 episodes. I remember, Mario Lopez tried to have like a men's version of The View, and they were competing against all those women, but it was daytime TV. And what are men doing? We're not able to watch daytime TV because we're working, and it's not available to be on our phones to be streamed. That lasted like a season or 2. Roy's like, remember Magic Johnson show? Hey, come on, let's not get started on Magic Johnson, man. He's come a long way. Y'all remember he used to talk like, hey, come on, man, show me the dunk shot. Come on, man, show the dunk shot. Magic. What the hell's a dunk shot? Is he dunking or is he shooting? Show him the dunk shot, man. Show him the dunk shot. Ooh, Lord, that was bad, man. That was bad. Jews like women love Montel and his bald head. Man, they love that bald head, man. Yeah, they did, man. He had all the subjects that were for women, but the content wasn't catered to us today. Or even then, you didn't see us sitting there as like, oh man, Montel's on, let me go ahead and watch this. Nah, we watched Jerry Springer for the jankiness when we were during that time period when we were younger. So just want to keep that in mind that we have never, ever had as many content creators because of social media to be available to have these talking points. Just even just to have the discussion. Where were these discussions happened before? In barbershops. We would go get our hair cut. We planned it to depend on the day of the week you would go. You had a certain crew of people at your barbershop that you go to. Whenever a woman came in, everybody got quiet. Shh, oh, hey, how you doing, miss? Yeah. Your son need a haircut? Okay, yeah. You know what? No appointment, but we can get to him. Yeah, okay, if you want to drop him off, you want to come back, it's up to you. Okay, yeah, that's right, miss. And you see her walk out the door. Ding. Everybody be quiet for a few seconds. She gets fired up. Okay. Okay. Yo, dog. What we talking about here? What we talking about here? What we talking about here? So that's what Coach is bringing up here. And you see how they quickly turn to TV shows that, if we really broke it down, did not cater to us. It catered to the female audience. Let's continue, guys.
Oh.
Yeah, in order to survive, they tended to pander towards the consumer, and so thus
You're saying they weren't real men.
Well, I'm not saying they weren't
Montel
real
might
men.
hear this right now.
Listen, yeah. See, I'm not here to challenge anyone to a physical fight or challenge their masculinity. However, we know how to survive in those environments, and that means you can't be overly masculine. You have to present a side that's going to address the consumer to sell dishwater or dish shampoo and that type of thing. So what's happening is men had to create their own lanes, essentially jump on YouTube and other platforms to get the mic to be able to say what they want to say without being canceled. So this is the beautiful time we live in, because now we get to see it. Even if you don't agree with it, you get to see at least another perspective. And it can't really be shut down, but it can be shut down.
I feel you on that. I will say.
Hey, just off the top, he's being general right now, but Coach ain't telling no lies. Spitting to the point. You don't even have to be a man to understand this here if you actually sit down, look at the content, and look at where we're at today. No lies being detected here.
Say that, I mean, as a dude, I'm with you. Like, I've tried to be like, as a dude, yes, but also as like a host of a show, there's a lot of guys out there who probably agree with you, but if there's women out there, be like, this motherfucker just said that men have been muzzled for the last 70 years.
And they don't realize it.
And they don't realize it. Do you think that men have been muzzled? Or do you think more women have been muzzled for the last 70 years?
I mean, I certainly don't feel like men have been muzzled for 70 years. I mean, I think there's been, plenty of, like you stated, women like on talk shows and such like that. I don't know that those platforms were used on either side really to voice the things we're talking about today. I just don't think people talked about it as openly as they do. Most of those were, as you said, around consumer or what was going to be catchy or get the audience's attention. Where I think today, like, there's just more of an open platform for people to actually have these conversations. And I think, I know it all too well. I'm judged every day, and it goes back to, like you stated, living your own life, living your own walk, and everyone has their own ideas. Nobody's word is law. And I think that's where a lot of people are getting confused today. It's like, this is meant to be an open dialogue, so you can kind of feel where you feel like is a good fit for you or where you would fit in. But there's just too much of this. It's not always black and white. And I think I'm a perfect example of that. I'm a wife, a mother, and I am doing something that is quite taboo for who I am. But I do it well. I balance the two. Nothing's really changed in my life outside of what I'm doing. And so I think I enjoy doing these type of shows because it does give me the opportunity to really show a different light to the industry, a different light to me as a person. I mean, who I am, Allie Ray, is very different who I am in real life, prior to this. And I think that's just the side that people don't get to see. And so it's always...
I'll let that play for a second here, because number one, of course you're not going to understand because A, you're a woman. Number two, I didn't play the beginning part here, and then, of course, her breakdown, but how are you going to know about this when you've been married for 20 years? And I think she has like 3 kids. So she is a married wife. So a married woman, unless that you have a man who's in the space here who is red pill, of course you're not gonna know. But here's the thing, you don't have a husband like that because you're a married wife of 20 years who do goddamn OnlyFans. Of course you're not gonna know. See, we need people to understand that sometimes if this is not your space, you give your opinion, but be like, I don't know, I need to fall back. This ain't me. I've been married for 20 years. I'm over here being a 304 in these streets here right now. I just know what I know. I'm getting money showing it, and my man don't care. So how are you really gonna know this? And then number two, did she make any goddamn sense what she was saying there? She sounded like the female version of her fees we're gonna get to in a second there. Whole bunch of word salad, just talking and saying all these other things here. And it's like, I was sitting here like, what are you talking about? You know, it's like, okay, you're married and you're on OnlyFans. And you've been married for 20 years. Yeah, your answer showcased that you are uninitiated, you know? So yeah, she needs to fall back here on this one here. But she's part of the show, so we know she's gonna talk here. Hey, and before I move on here, hey, shout out to my man Drew Titan with the $10 holla. Oh man. What's up, Drew? How you doing, brother? What we gotta do here first here? Salute. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. Hey man. Bud ducked. Man, hey, bruh. Bud ducked. Hey, I don't know if you're working out right now. You still at work, bro? Since Drew came in here showing me some love, I appreciate the love. Hey, man. Bud ducked. He ain't who he is. God, I had to do that, man, since you came in the chat here, bruh. He said, Bud Duck, but I'm not blaming Blue. You know what, though? Blue trying to get paid. I get it. Blue trying to get paid. I have my opinions on that, but I am not going to demonize the content creator. I have my opinions on it, Drew. I'm just not going to go there the way that I would go there. But at the end of the day, when history's all settled and done, Bud is on that BS. Plain and simple. Okay, let me get back to the video. My man Drew in the building, man. He has to know, man. He good, man. He good peoples, man. Before I move on to the video, if you are a boxing fan, click on his link and then subscribe to his channel, man. Hey, yo, he be dropping heat in the morning time, man. He be dropping heat, man. So yeah, man. Show Drew some love, man. It's all good, brother. We're gonna chop up another time on that one here. We talking about Hafiz self here. And hey, before I move on too, man, shout out to Brock with another $10 holla, man. Because I see it's gonna be 3 vs 1. Every show is geared towards women and not even to see how they act like it's not true. Man, Brock, thank you, brother. Before I move on, salute. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, man. We about to get into this video in a second here, man. Well, we're already into it now. We're getting to the meat and potatoes here. We got to know the backgrounds. We see what's going on here. I wanted to level set. I didn't want to start so far into it, so it'd be like, yo, I wanted to see how we got here first. You know what I mean? So yes, thank you so much, Brock. Drew says, Bud is on borrowed time by time. Borrowed time, Drew? Nah, brother. Nah, hey, Drew. I'm gonna move on here real fast. Let me make this last point, because y'all know I'm a diehard boxing fan. You know I'm a diehard boxing fan. Hey, Drew, there's no more borrowed time. He's done. I'm using my platform to say, if we bring up Bud, I don't care. There is no more borrowed time. His whole welterweight schedule, his whole welterweight record shows that borrowed time is done. He's been on the Eastern European Tour and retiree circuit right now. He is not beating somebody that has been clear top 5 in a long time. He does not have a legacy fight. There is no more borrowed time. That's it. I'm saying that like it is. I don't give a care. There is no borrowed time for him. That did it. He did a clear duck. The only worse duck move than this, Drew, is when Riddick Bowe put the WBC belt in the garbage can. That is the only bigger duck move than that. Plain and simple. There is no bigger duck move than Riddick Bowe and Lennox Lewis. This is number 2. because he's being exposed for the things he's saying right now. It's not adding up. All right, guys. I moved like that. Let's continue. Let's get back to this now.
You know, something that I've got a cue cards and everything, and I'm just kind of throwing, but kind of all over the place here. But I find it interesting. You were married 9 years, okay? And on the 10th day, he got out, kind of a thing. You've been married 20 years.
Almost 22.
22 years. If I had a cocktail, I'd cheers to you. And you've been married 1 year, okay?
Yeah.
And I was in a long-term relationship, single now, all good. What I want to know is, of your friends that have been married somewhat as long as you, I'm not saying as long as you, how many, let's say you have 100 friends. Let's just say 10 friends, just to kind of keep it simple. How many are still married? How many are happily married? How many are like, I just can't wait to be like coach over here and just, I'm looking, we're in the 8th inning, I'm trying to get out before the game's over, kind of a thing. If you would break that down.
Yeah, so that's actually interesting that I don't have very many friends, well, obviously because of my industry now, but even prior to that, because the friends that I did have that were in marriages, I've always been happy in marriage. I married literally to my best friend. We got married very young. I love him. I enjoy my time with him. We have fun together. I think what I would deal with is a lot of complaining. Like, it was every conversation in the break room at work is everybody just hates their husbands. And it was like,
These are the women complaining to you.
Women.
And this is when you were a nurse?
yeah, all the
Okay.
time. And I had a hard time connecting with people because it's like, well, here I'm going to be this girl like, oh, I love mine. We're going to go out and have drinks. You guys want to go? They're just, the guys, I always noticed the husbands were always out with their friends and, the wives were always doing their own thing. It was a very divided household. And I've noticed this too, even my sons, they're older now, but they've told me, like, at other people's house, it's just crazy. Like, I never see the parents sitting on the couch together like you guys do, or like hugging or kissing, or, walking in the kitchen, my husband slapped my ass. Like, it's just those things, like, they don't see any affection. And so I've never connected with a lot of other people because of that. So to answer your question, if you said I had 10 friends in a room, I'd say maybe 1 or 2 have at least marriages for that long, but I've never met someone that I think is truly as happy as we are, or that enjoys their time together. And I'm not saying that's how a marriage should be, because a lot of marriages, they really thrive on that space apart, and that's important to them. And so maybe that's just not what they do.
Here's what I'm hearing.
You know why you didn't have many friends? What's going on, Day-Dot? You know why she didn't have many friends, or not doing the water coolers, or you said she was a nurse before she was on OnlyFans? You want to know why? Them other women knew you was a 304. And then after you started your OnlyFans, you think that other married women want you around their husbands, even in a group setting? I don't think anybody's ever talked about this when they react to this video here. Plain and simple, guys. No women wants their man around 304s when they know they're known 304s. Right? Like, oh, what do you do now? Oh, I do OnlyFans. Mark, get your ass over here right now. Mark, come home. You know what? Something just happened with the sitter. We got to go home. Yeah, I don't know. It's like an emergency. We got to go get the kids. Like, you ain't getting around. No, we are not being around them no more. Yeah, I better not see the cookie history and you're cashing her OnlyFans site. Oh, no. Or it's like, oh, what's going on? How you doing? Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm doing OnlyFans. You doing OnlyFans? Oh, yeah, it's so great. Yeah, Steve don't mind, I don't leave. I do everything in the room. He even shoots the camera sometimes, It's okay, though. It's a family affair. I'm just expressing myself. We make good money. Tom, can you come here for a second, baby? Tom, come here. We got to go. The time of the month came. It's not working for me, babe. We gotta go now. Hey, Michael, you put the wine down, Michael. Put the wine down. Marcus, hey, put that MG. No more MGDs for you. Did you know that she does OnlyFans? How come you didn't tell me to come to this party that she do OnlyFans? No. Matter of fact, if I get on the MacBook and if I see OnlyFans in there from the cookie history, your ass is going to get it. You looking at her like that. What are you talking about? Hey, man, if our ladies know that somebody in the cruise lady is a 304, hey, man, just know that somebody has been voted off the island. I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying. Hey, what's going on, Path Guy? How's it going? I'm just saying. If our ladies know, our significant others, whether you married, engaged, whatever your relationship status is, if she knows that somebody in the cruise woman is moving like that here, hey, yo, keep it moving. No, you can't hang around him no more. Or her. I don't trust him. No. It's bad enough that I don't like your friend, and now you tell me his girl moving like this? No. I'm just saying, y'all, come on. And then she gonna say, I don't know why I don't got no friends. I just broke it down for you just like that. We broke it down in less than 3 minutes. All we gotta do is let them speak long enough. And if you have a little bit of experience in life, these gray hairs come for a reason. You have little gray hairs in life here, you know. You don't need a couple of gray hairs. I'm just saying, we all in this chat here are a little bit old enough to experience certain things, whether you've been in a serious relationship or not. You could just be dating somebody and your girl recognize that other girl is not, you know, doesn't look kind of kosher. Oh, you gonna hear it. Oh yeah. Wait, is that what you like? Is that what you, oh, so that's what you like? Nah, man, come on. That's just Mike's girl. Come on, that's just Mike's girl. You know how Mike a bad boy. You know what I'm saying? She probably ain't gonna last that long. Then 10 years later, Mike married her. Oh, don't even think you're going. I don't care if it's a Super Bowl. I don't care if he got tickets. No, you ain't going nowhere around them. I don't trust you. I don't trust him, and I don't trust that banshee who he married. No, I better not see your cookie history either. I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. I'm just noticing that I don't think anybody who touched these videos touched on that part here. Well, I ain't got no friends. You're a 304. Only 304 should go with other 304s. If a woman's not a 304, she's not hanging with a 304. You know what happens when a non-304 hangs with 304? The non-304 becomes a 304. I'm just saying. And if the non-304 doesn't become a 304, she gets labeled a 304. So now she gets the scarlet letter as well because she hang around friends at 304s. All right, guys. I just have to point that out because I thought that was very, very, very interesting. All right, now let's get back to it here.
And then I'm gonna turn it over to you. You're an anomaly. Okay, you're in a loving.
You ain't no anomaly. Stop
sex-filled
that.
marriage.
Stop simping for her.
And you had a career, and now you're doing OnlyFans. Like, you're an anomaly, okay? Like, you're making more money than most women. You're happily married. Like, you're not the average. You're not the typical statistic. You're the
Exception.
The exception to the rule, correct? But what I'm also understanding is that a lot of your women, 8 out of 10, are basically in this marriage where they're upset, annoyed. They're sick of their husband. Because a lot of times we hear on my show and shows like this, men kind of need to be like the man running the show, you know, tell these women what's up. But, you know, women have a voice in this perspective as well.
Yeah.
And they're kind of being the complaining behind the scenes. Go ahead, Coach.
Well, I want everybody to understand. I'm going to look into this camera right here, so I hope you see me very well here. I want everybody to understand and remember that everything I say from this point, she backed it up, all right? So it's basically zero, all right? You have no hope, no chance. Past the 20 years, and that comes from experience. It also is the experience.
You have no chance of passing 20 years, you're saying?
No. You can pass 20 years.
Yeah.
You'll probably be roommates, and you'll probably be overweight in a busted
Well,
Pillsbury biscuit can,
Uh-oh.
or you'll probably be the exception to the rule. But the data shows us, plus
Yeah.
the experience that she expressed, that it's a very difficult thing. And this is what I want men to know.
Yeah.
It is very difficult. Many people will simplify it for you. They will say, oh, just do this and do that, and they will lead you on a wild goose chase. And that's my perspective. That's all that I offer. I tell men to not get married, especially when you don't have leverage. However, I also tell you, do not listen to people who simplify this. This is a very complicated thing that most people fail at miserably.
Got it.
And this is what I want people to understand.
Let me tee up Hafiz, because you
I'm glad that he said that here because we do have people that really simplify this situation with marriage and relationships. Oh, you got to do these 5 things here. Or if you do this here, or happy wife, happy life, and things of that nature. In actuality, just like everything, life's hard. Life's long. It's a battle. It's a war every day, whether you realize it or not. Not every single battle is a grind, but we're battling every day. And especially when you're in a relationship, especially when you're engaged, especially when you get married or you're in a long-term situation or you're common law, whatever your status is, it's hard. And so many times we see a lot of people saying, all you gotta do is this. You need to do this here. It's easier if you just follow up this way. And it's not. Even if it looks easy, there's so many things that happens us internally that may make it even harder to consume certain things or adjust. Life's hard. It's not easy. So we got to take things step by step at a time. But if anybody says, all you got to do is this and it's no problem, it doesn't, even in relationships, if someone says, if all you do is this, this, and this here, no. I mean, you can give the steps that are maybe easy, but following through and then doing the processing. And then after that, next steps forward, step 2 and step 3. Things in life are hard. Maybe certain steps are simple, but overall. So I don't want anybody telling you major decisions like, oh, that's super easy. Like, maybe a step is easy, but overall, we need to concept and look at certain things from a worldview here. Be like, wait a minute, why are you saying things is that easy here? What am I getting wrong here? Am I slow? No, you're not slow. Everybody's circumstances are different. Everybody moves differently. Everybody's in different circumstances. You know, and at the same time with Coach Greg Adams, I will never tell anybody not to get married, and I will never tell anybody to get married. What I will say is, do you understand what you're getting into? Don't just say yes. I need you to tell me, do you understand what you are doing? Because you are young. If you're doing this for the first time, you may not have all the answers. You may be going through it from an emotional standpoint. I will never tell you not to do something. I would just ask you, do you understand what you are getting into? And here's one thing I will add to as well, because there are so many things that I know, but I will admit that I do have shortcomings. I do have short stops because I am not an expert on so many things. So you know what I will say? I will defer to an authoritative figure on certain matters. I will have my opinions, but if you want something concrete, if you want something locked down, right? You know what I'm gonna say? I talk about them all the time because I'm in this mastermind class. Talk to somebody like the lead attorney, TLA. He is the only person on YouTube who is a 20-year divorce attorney. This man has been in courtrooms 4 times a week for 20 years dealing with divorces. He's seen firsthand how men have gone through what they've gone through. So I will give my opinions and I will tell you how I stand on. But you know what though? If you want to get to the nuts and bolts, if you're a guy like me who wants to go down the rabbit hole, find an authoritative figure and find out from them what it truly is to get your answers, to be prepared, because marriage is not easy. Marriage is hard. Life is hard. How we navigate and how we go through our decisions is the key. So that's what I would say here for anybody who want to come at me saying, no, I don't know everything. I'll give you my opinion, but then I will direct you to somebody who could probably more than likely give you a better answer than what you're looking for. That's what I want to give to you guys today. I know some things, but I don't know everything. That is the thing about growth and leveling up here. There was a period of time in my life I thought I knew everything. Couldn't tell me nothing. Oh, but right now, if I know something, it's because I've done the homework research or that's my experience, that's my background. But if I don't know it, but I may have experience, my experience could be anecdotal, right? I can own that. I can own the anecdotal part, but I will defer to somebody who will not give you the anecdotal, who will showcase you the living facts and statistics and data. That's how real men help other men out. Not being hubris and headstrong, let you know everything. I know a lot of things, but if I don't know, let me point you in the right direction, brother. Let me help you out, path guy. Hey, Carl, hey, this is what I know here, but don't take it complete as gospel here. Hey, Carl, why don't you go ahead and hit this person up here? I got you. Hey, Stephen Price. Hey, you know what though? Here's what I went through the situation, but this is just my experience. But here is where you need to go to. And then after that point, then you're a grown man now. I gave you a tea leaf. Now you can use that to branch off to look at other avenues if you don't like my source. That is how men are supposed to help other men. I wanted to lay that background, guys. I wanted to give that to you guys, just let you know that. This is how I feel, and this is how I move, right? I don't know everything, but what I do know, I'm gonna give y'all some game. What I don't know, hey man, I'm letting you know I'm ignorant. I'll be the first to say, and people hate this word. Hey guys, I'm ignorant on that point here. And people don't even understand what word ignorant means because ignorant has many connotations. And one part of it means the essence of not knowing. So I will admit I am ignorant at times. Wanted to break that down because now we're really going to get into the conversation here. Let's go.
Because you used a few things there about not getting married.
Yeah.
You said sometimes
If you
you'll
don't
turn
have leverage.
Okay, if you don't have leverage, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
And you talk about turning into roommates. Well, this guy is the roommate, the host of the roommate channel.
Right.
When you're hearing this, you've been married 1 year. And by the way, this guy's a sharp, informed, very intentional guy. My assumption is he didn't just trip and fall into marriage.
He's seen myself before.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So you've been very, you're a calculated dude. Okay.
100%.
So when you're hearing Greg say this,
Yeah.
and even when you're hearing Ali say this, how are you processing this
No,
information?
this is really good, and I'm excited about how this conversation can develop because I think you've maybe. Did you react to me and AMS's conversation a couple of years ago about marriage?
I didn't react to it. I didn't do a reaction video.
Okay.
But yeah, I made a comment about it.
Okay, you made a comment about it. Okay, so to me, I'm really excited about it, but it's also key to talk about experience. Experience shapes your view, right?
Yeah.
So a girl who's been abused by a lot of different men, she's gonna have a very cynical leaning view towards men. A man who's been cheated by business partners will have a very cynical view about having potential business partners. So it's also unique to talk about we have to be honest.
Yeah.
Nobody here is 100% objective. That's one of my arguments always with red pill stuff. They say they're speaking the truth. You're not a robot. You know, you have your biases, right? Call it for what it is. We all have our biases. I have biases. You have biases. Coach has biases. As much as we think we are, we have to be 100% honest to the people about our biases. If I'm an individual and I was divorced and I had a difficult experience via marriage, I'm going to have a biased opinion via marriage. Allie has a positive experience with marriage, so she can have a bias towards, well, great marriages can work, right? So similar to me, the people I admire the most, the people I look up to, are married people. Patrick Bet-David, Jordan Peterson, my father, Pastor Mark Driscoll, people who I look up to the most, right? Long-term marriages, the people that I celebrate a lot. Long-term marriages. My father and mother been married for over 30 years. Great, healthy marriage. So that's my opinion. My pastor, Pastor Heidi Lewis, been married for over 25 years. So that's my worldview. And so to me, hearing what he's sharing, there is truth in that. Everything what everyone's going to share is going to be truth in it. Yes, if you like, my dad told me a very powerful point. I love my father. He's such a wise older man. He said the most important decision you'll ever make in your life is the one you marry.
Yeah.
And it can go one of two ways. And this is what I want the guys to understand. We're not teaching naivete, which is, oh, marriage is this perfect thing, and you just meet the one and live happily ever after, and there's no issues, there's no divorces. We're not teaching naivete. Marriage can be the worst thing in your life. It can be an absolute living hell. And I guarantee you can go for days and you know so many different stories about people which marriage is an absolute living hell. But we don't want to teach being naive about the realities. But also, we don't want to teach nihilism. Right? The other end of the extreme. Marriage is the worst thing possible, and the women are out to get your money, and everyone's miserable, and everybody's roommates, and everybody's this. Because there are some individuals, such as what Alex communicated, who are in happy, healthy long-term marriage, right? So you don't want to be naive. You want to be nihilistic. You want to be as real as possible. Give me the good, the bad, and the ugly. And my biggest thing is that I understand that marriage is a very difficult thing to get right. And the same thing is like, I love how what you do is marriage and money, right? I think we're gonna be talking about those two things today. Adam, you're a 1% man financially, right? That means 99% of people are trying to get to where Adam is. Most people live paycheck to paycheck. They're struggling. Their lives suck when it comes to money. Most people are struggling, but they're trying to get to where you are. That's how I view relationships. Most people are in really sucky relationship. Most people, it's a day-to-day war, hell, the way work is, the way the gym is. But then there are some people who are having it at the highest of level. The same way nobody says, oh, well, most people are not going to be in the 1%, so screw it. You should even try. It's, 90% of businesses end in 10 years. You should even try. We say, if somebody's going to succeed, why not you? Which is why I love what you're doing. If someone's going to be rich, why not you? If someone's going to make money, why not you? If someone's going to have a great podcast, why not you? So for me, I acknowledge that the top of the mountain is rare. I acknowledge that. But what I also acknowledge is that if somebody's going to win, why not it be you? And how can we help as many men as possible get there? Everybody won't be able to get there, but how many people can we help get there? And that's what, to me, matters the most.
Got it.
I had to let that play for a second so y'all can see what we're getting at here. We eating the meat and potatoes here. Okay, guys. I don't know how I'm going to unpack what he said because he literally jam-packed 30 minutes within 3 minutes. Okay. First things first. He's talking out of both sides of his mouth and not even hearing to his own message here. He immediately said that we all have biases, but we want to recognize naivety with naivety, whatever he was saying here. I ain't going to try to go to that route right now, right? But he admitted the biases here, how we want to do one thing and not the other, but he clearly owned up that he only listens to married people. So how you gonna say we don't want to do this and that and we have biases, but he clearly said that I'm just gonna stick to my biases over here. Because you want to know something? There is something to learn from men who has been divorced. For me, when I hear someone talk like that, it seems like it's already casting the blame on the divorced people, not knowing the inner workings why those two people got divorced. Yes, I have no problem listening and talking to someone who's been married 30 or 40 years. Hell, I talk openly when I broke down the other night, how my pops was married 49 and a half years to my mom before he passed away. But you want to know something? I know for a fact of having that role model in front of me and the scene of marriage last that long, they almost didn't make it several times. I know that for a fact. I want to talk to people who've been that long and the people who didn't make it. And what was it for? Did they stay in it because of the house and the kids? Did they actually make it work and, they found a way to get back to where they were? Did they break up because he cheated? That she cheated? What she was not doing what she's supposed to do as a wife? Was he not doing it as a husband? Maybe they tried so hard and it just couldn't? Was it a clear case of no-fault divorce in our society here? He is so biased on just one side that he didn't even hear the words he's saying that was just chopping down his own argument. We don't need to go here with these biases and we got these numbers, but the numbers are there. The numbers are there. And I want to point out another thing. Coach Greg Adams and myself both said the exact same thing. I will never tell you not to get married. I will just ask you, do you know what you're doing? Do you understand the situation? Are you ready? Have you reached out to any OGs outside of myself, to talk about the situation here? Or are you going as blind on your own accord? Do you have your own wolf pack? Do you have your own tribe? And then you talk amongst your other men about this decision here as well. I will never tell you no. And what did he just say here? He just kept saying, no, don't do it because the 90% did. Nobody ever said that here in the space here. You never heard me say never get married. Matter of fact, remember what Kevin Samuels said before he passed away? Do we remember what Kevin Samuels passed away? Who's a 2-time divorcee before he passed away? You know what he said? I'll get married again if it's the right situation. We can go back to the tapes. We can do the forensics. We can go through those old videos. Kevin Samuels, who's divorced 2 times, said, now that I understand, I would get married again, but it's going to be on the terms that I know now. Nobody's ever said, of course you got black pill. Let me take this back here. There is black pill content out here who just goes the hard way. No. They're telling you, I get that. There's that content over there. But the real, true red pill guys, the guys who are in the space that who we rock with, who we know are sensible and talking and entertaining and who has established himself here in this community, nobody says, don't do it. We say, do you understand and do you have the tools? Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Carl's like, why enter a contract with a person who has incentive to break that contract? That's a good point there, Carl. I mean, I'll give you both sides of the coin. If I have a million guys in my tribe, or not a million, but so many guys, I'm just being, just throwing a word out there, that says all the time, Dave, I'm never getting married. Okay, cool. You understand your decision you made? Yeah, Dave, never will. Like what Carl said here. All right. I'm not going to go, yeah, don't marry them hoes. Don't marry them 304s. I don't say that. No, I don't do that. No, you understand your decision. As a man, I'm going to respect that decision, but never will I say never do it. That's the problem that he has here right now. He's already talking out of both sides of his mouth here. And why we're reacting to this here? Because how he's talking is dangerous. Here we got some young pup, 32 years old, been married a year, and he's talking dangerous. He doesn't realize how spew he is spitting right now. Speaking out of both sides of his mouth. Let's continue, guys.
Gotcha.
Preach. I love that.
Now, when you hear something like this, obviously he's sort of saying, all right, I hear you, coach. Your marriage didn't work. You got out, thank God before the 10-year mark. So you'd probably be a little bit
I got
more
that email,
spiteful than
Jurgen.
you are. I'm not saying that you're spiteful, but you'd be even
I'll check
more
it out.
spiteful if you're paying a ridiculous amount of alimony and everything that you've been paying. But is there anything wrong with that if he's saying? He's basically saying, I hear you, coach. It ain't easy out there, brother. Like, life's tough. Marriage is tough. Making money is tough. Things are tough. But don't tell me that I shouldn't get married, or don't tell me that I can't have a successful marriage. How do you process that?
I don't think anyone says do not get married. I
Yeah.
think they caution people to say do not get married. If I say do not get married without leverage, that is a position, right? That you can change. Thus, if you read my book, it says once you get to that position, you can then make the decision. You'll probably come out better than going in it without it. However, this is what I will always say. When men do find that solution does not work out, they are left alone. There's nobody to help them. So people encourage people, hey, why not? Give it a try. But when you go bankrupt, when you lose your kids, when your kids are taken from you, when the courts kind of punish you for making this decision or punishes you for being a slightly better, higher earner, then nobody's there with information. Nobody's there with context. No one's there to help them. And I believe, not feel, I know, understand, believe, and I have evidence to show that men are left alone when they don't succeed in this endeavor. And that is the void that I feel, because I can tell you, hey, men are alone in this situation. Men are homeless. Men are thinking about eating guns. Men are thinking about, they have no way out. Men are losing big time.
I want to stop at that point here. What did Coach Greg Adams say? Men are homeless. Men are left alone. Men are eating guns. Guys, men are hurting out here. You don't got to be the biggest fan of Greg Adams here, but is he saying what he's saying is wrong? When men go through it, we go through it. Men are eating guns. We have to say certain things for the YouTube algorithm. Isn't that true? Know how I know this is true? Like I said, I've only been here for 8.5 months. And you want to know something? You will be shocked. Not just in the comments section. The emails that I get for people who are trusting me. And you want to know something? I'm not going to disclose their names. I will not violate my tribe's trust unless they say, hey, you know what, Dave? I want you to tell my story. But I'll paraphrase because I got a lot of these emails here. I have had men who have been on the brink of eating guns. And they've emailed this to me. I have these emails. They tell me that they've gotten to that point, or they have been to the point where they were so broken and lost everything. And no one wants to talk about these men. To the point where we talk about homeless men. I'm a 22-year IT professional who's been in downtown Chicago over half my career, and the last 7 years in downtown Chicago and Manhattan. Now, I know that the homelessness is rising on women, but do you understand how many homeless men do I see when I go into the office? And nobody cares. No one cares about men. How many homeless shelters that we have for women compared to men? And you want to know the major two causes that I see with the men who are homeless in my sector? Vets who the military has casted out and don't care for them, not getting the medication or medical care they need, and find themselves in the streets. That's the one major barrier. And or a combination of they've gotten divorced. Their woman took the house and the kids. They have nothing. They go from couch to the point where that next thing you know, they're on the corner of Wacker and Adams with their dog. This is serious. It's a combination of the two in so many sectors where that we have our vets come home and then they ladies leave them because they're not the same, because they're out here defending our country, defending us as Americans. But they ladies ain't doing what they supposed to be doing back home. So when they come home and they're changed mentally here and psychologically here and they run. And then those guys don't know what to do. And they can't get the help that they need. And they don't have the support system that their wife's supposed to be. Pookie's like homeless men in all walks of life, especially in the black male diaspora. Exactly, Pookie. Jews like I've seen it in Houston. A man left with nothing because he married a 304. That's what we're talking about here. Hafiz got his biases and not once through his first diatribe here talk about the things that Greg Adams just pointed out so eloquently in such a small bullet point here. Guys are going through it. Guys are eating guns. And that's what we're here to talk about here. I've had certain guys who came and told me, and that's just not trying to pump myself up, but I just feel that I'm responsible to a degree now if you guys give me a little bit of trust. Like, I don't want you guys to go through that. That's why we have these conversations. That's why we have the chat, that we uplift and build each other, not knowing what the next person here is going through. I don't know if Pookie's going through. I don't know if Pookie's having a good day or not. I don't know if Shield's having a good day or not. I don't know if Jubilee's having a good day or not. But we're here so that we know that we have a space to talk about these things because we couldn't talk about them before. And it's happening in every major city, every small city. It doesn't matter because men don't have a way to go when we fall short. Let's continue, guys. Let's hear some more what they're going to say here.
And we're losing a fraction of men due to manipulation, due to people trying to, they may be hurt. A woman might be hurt in a marriage, or she might feel that she's not being appreciated. And then she throws a grenade in the room. What happens then? See, that's where I come in. I get to show you what happens when the grenade is there. And I also encourage you, you're not alone in this. A lot of people come to my content and they find out, oh, you too? See, before, as I said, 70 years ago, 40 years ago, 30 years ago, there was nobody.
Before he continues, he said, you too? Know why he says you too? Because Coach Greg Adams has been open about his L's too. Like I said, I don't watch him all the time, but he's open about, he's talking about his divorce and his past, failures in relationships. And the same as me. So when we, as men, if we find the strength to open up, and then maybe our L's may not be the same, but they're similar to the L's that you may have gone through. So that's why I keep repeating when the guys email me and say, Dave, you too? I'm like, yeah, that happened to me too. I had this happen to me. I've had this run over to me. I've had this situation on me. I'm not proud of it, but I lived it. I can't take it away. That's my history. That's my backdrop. That's an L. I got to own it. That shaped me today. So when Coach Greg Adams say, you too, it's because all of us men here has taken L's. We all have. We've all fallen short. We've all been done dirty. That's why we want to talk about it, because others want to know that you're not alone in your losses. We talk about the losses so that we can build on the W's. Right? That's what we're here for. Guys are hurting, guys. Men are hurting. Men are hurting. Some men don't want to see that, though. Some people don't want to understand that. Just because you hear the James Brown song, It's a Man's World, got to remember, only for some few, a lot of men are going through it. Let's continue.
Presenting this side of the argument.
This side, I see what you're saying.
This
with
right
that.
here.
Got it.
Nobody, they just left men alone. They said, well, you must
Let's
not
get these
have
likes
hit
up,
me right,
y'all.
or you must not have loved her right, or you must have abused the kids. That's what she said. She said that you were, and nobody came to this position. So listen, there was a void open, and I ran right through the
So
hole.
when you talk about leverage, break down what you mean by leverage. Are you talking about in a marriage before you get married? Are you talking
Correct.
about a prenup? You're talking about a set of rules, guidelines? What's this leverage you're referring to?
Well, a lot of men, a lot of men are looking to be loved, right? So a lot of men,
That's
the
true.
transaction is always men give, women receive. So in this instance, once men do a lot of giving, they may sacrifice, they may risk things, but they're risking the little things that they have. They don't know what they're going to lose in the future, right? So by that point, they will probably avoid a prenup. They might say, I don't need a prenup. I don't have anything. Right. And so he'll get married. He'll build some things. Once the commitment is made and once the investment is made, then he has something. So then when they say, well, you better love her right. You better screw her right. You better appreciate her right. And he says, well, it's still not working. She's not happy. Well, then he knows he can measure how much he's going to lose because he now has leverage, but the leverage is attached to a marital contract. And then at that point, he can say, well, I don't want to lose my 2 or 3 kids. I don't want to lose my house. I don't want to lose my car. He knows then, and also he has no protection. He didn't get a prenup because he didn't have leverage. This is what a lot of young men in their 20s don't understand because they don't know what they're going to lose. They can't measure it. Once you're 40 and you've accumulated things and you have leverage, you have position at a company, and a woman says, hey, I want to marry you. And you will know what you're going to lose. And at that point, you can make a conscious decision whether they engage in a state-funded marital contract.
Yeah.
That's leverage. Most men get married without the leverage.
Did you have a prenup when you got married?
I was married at 28, 27, engaged at 27, 28. So absolutely not.
You did not have one.
Nope.
And if you ever get married again, would you get a prenup?
I would advise
Clearly,
every
yes?
man. I mean, listen, a prenup is somewhat of a protection. It's just something to fight over in court. If there's something to be there, she could just fight it, and now you lost on the money, right? But I did not. I would encourage men to do so if they want to do
Ali,
it.
when you got married, did you have a prenup?
No, and honestly, like just hearing you speak, I feel like you
Before we get to her here, I want to speak on this here. I had so many people early in my YouTube career who wanted to diss the prenup situation. I've had several men say, Dave, prenups don't work. That I don't care what anybody says, prenups don't work. Okay, give me your example why prenups don't work. Well, you know what though? Look at George Lucas. You know, he was a rich, look at him, Star Wars, and he had a prenup don't work, and people gave me these situations, right? Here's the thing. I'm using this example for a reason because it hits close to me right now. I am not somebody who can tell you the ins and outs about prenups because I am not a lawyer. Right? Put that disclaimer out there again. I am not a lawyer. But you want to know someone who is? Once again, I'm using the example for this here because I always like to use examples, and whatever the story dialogue is or whatever conversation, I like to go to an example or an authoritative figure. I'm going back to a lead attorney. You know what he said? If you do it right, by hiring a divorce lawyer. Sometimes you got to hire her lawyer so she has her own representation. It may cost you an extra $5,000. But if you do it properly, hire the legal beavers. That thing is 99% effective, like a condom. What happens, it has, like, Mike, it does have flaws, Mike. It does have flaws. But what happens in the examples that men have given me? What happens is, depending on the state you live in, and then you make changes without legal representation that can easily void your prenup. Don't believe me? Go talk to a lawyer first. Someone who has 20 years experience. And then after that, go to somebody else after I gave you the source. The thing is, like with George Lucas, you know what he did? He made changes on a goddamn napkin and on a regular piece of paper and try to add that to the prenup. So when the judges look at that and seeing that you trying to make changes that doesn't look legally right, the judge is going to probably throw everything out. You see, guys want to see he went through the process and try to save a few bucks because he didn't want to go through the billable hours. Now, I didn't say it's 100%. Said that if you do it right, when you hire proper legal representation, and I am telling you as that particular figure here to go seek that, and then maybe you got to pay an extra $5,000 so she has her own legal representation so that you had 2 lawyers in place. That $5,000 extra is so much cheaper than her keeping your house. It is so much cheaper than the fact that you only see your kids 2 weekends out of the month. And that's only Friday after 7. You take them back home Sunday by 2 p.m. I'm not saying it's 100%. I'm saying do the right thing. If you be cheap in the beginning, it's going to cost you more in the long run. And let's say that you never get broken up. Hey, that $5,000 is just an investment to protect yourself so your ass don't get homeless. So you're not on the street corners like these other men that I see when I go to work. So when it comes to prenups, you know what I say? Do your homework. Hire an attorney or try to go through if you even have the money, go through as much free consultation to get the answers that you need. I want to point you in that direction because knowledge is key. It's not just some document that it can help you and maybe you save some money, things of that nature. It's so much more that I can't tell you, but somebody who's professionally went to school for this can. We got to get out of our own way, guys, thinking that prenups don't work. If you do it right, it will work for you. Mike's like, I never had a pre, but my divorce lawyer was an effing pit bull. So I lucked out. My divorce lawyer cost me $11K, but that's worth it more than I would have lost. Oh man, Mike, that's all you paid? I mean, not say all 11 though. Mike, you're 11,000. So you got a pit bull. So you didn't have the prenup, but you had to go get the pit bull to settle that. But that 11,000 saves you so much more money than I know that you probably had to give out if you went and hired some cheap flyby person who was fresh out of law school. You see, either you get even if you guys don't get a pit, if you don't get a prenup, you got to pay for a pit bull. Either or. The thing is, you're going to pay. The key is, do you want to pay now, or do you want to pay a lot in the future? Pookie's like, agreed, Dave. Legal representation protects you, and investment don't use tactic. Cheap comes with the expensive method. Exactly. You pay for cheap items in major life decisions, you get cheap results. So I just want to remember that to you guys when we get this conversation and see what she's going to say here now. I just want to point out what Coach Greg Adams said because he was a little bit off on that, but I am not an authoritative figure. I'm saying I know that sounds off, so go talk to a legal beaver. Do the right thing. Protect yourself, but at least go talk to someone. Don't just go off the internet and see Google articles about how this prenup didn't work or this guy had a prenup, it didn't work here. Because do you live in that same state as that man? Do you even have the same financial situation as that man? Do you even have the same amount of kids as that person? Are you in the same field as that person? Everything is so different, so that's why you need legal representation to do the right thing. Let's continue, guys.
You come from a place that obviously had a negative experience with stuff, or you kind of, I guess I can't imagine ever looking into a marriage, like even going into the thought of marriage, maybe because I was so young and I didn't have to, with so much like guardedness. I feel like going into a marriage and falling in love with someone, there's a little bit of a leap of faith there. And so sometimes when you make it too transactional, I don't know, I feel like for me, it would take a lot away. And maybe again, because I was so young, we were kids ourselves. We didn't have anything to protect, but I feel like
y'all hear this?
Maybe that mindset is what's quite toxic for people that aren't able to find love, is when you constantly live in that, well, she might screw me over, I got to protect this. Like, how can you ever fully let yourself like go and submit to just being in love and like letting that guard down? And I think the women have a lot to lose too. It's not just men, obviously.
Right, but we don't speak from the women's perspective.
No, we don't speak from the women's perspective, but she is clearly speaking as a woman. You don't have to worry about that because that's something that women don't have to worry about. The only women who have these problems are the rich women who are marrying down. Like when we see O'Shea Do Jackson getting on these women about these older women dating these younger guys, those are women who has that problem. The rich women who are in their older age marrying young dudes, and they're basically the men in those situations here. A woman is never going to know because you're never coming out of pocket. You've never had to lose like that. Whenever there's a major breakup in a marriage, the woman doesn't have to pay alimony, doesn't have to pay child support. It's by default the women gets the kids. It's by default they make the man leave the house. It's by default that they start separating the assets, even though he makes more than she's going to get taken care of here. Unless you hire legal representation to do the right thing to protect yourself. And even then, if she ain't making the money that brought to the table to help justify the household income, the man is on the hook. Women do not have to worry about these things. So of course you're not going to have to worry about that. So wow, you're just going to these things negatively. You don't. You don't have to worry about that. And on top of that too, your husband's a cuckold. You don't got to worry because your husband's a cuckold now. So of course in her situation, she's not going to know, but most women are not bringing something to the table to have to worry about this. Let's continue, y'all. Let me get back into this here.
Because we're men,
Yes.
but we also have to understand people go homeless over this. People lose their lives over this. This is
Oh,
serious.
yeah.
It's like saying I joined the military and I was just hoping that I came out of the war
going on, Eric?
not injured,
going on,
not
Mondo?
disabled, not ruined mentally, and then I don't know why you would go over there and think that. Well, this is a battle, and the battles are won and lost in these.
It's
marriages.
not a battle though. I think this is where the language has
Here we
to
go.
be used correctly. And I think to me, I love the balancing act that's going to happen today, because I think what's going on is that I understand. So there's this idea of Eastern versus Western marriage. Let's just say Greg is on the East, she's on the West. Eastern marriage is all about logic. Does it make sense? Arranged marriages, right? Two families, two worldviews, two ideologies. Doesn't matter how you feel. It matters, does it make the most sense?
They're the most successful, by the way, arranged marriages.
We can talk about that in the
Yes,
future.
sure, yeah.
So Greg comes from that mentality of, if you're gonna get in this agreement, you need to write out the agreement clear as day. What does this entail? What does it get? If you leave, you get this. If you leave without this, you don't get nothing. Like, it's a very systematized business kind of contract, because it's
a business contract. Correct.
Because, and this is why when you were talking about the idea of like when men fail in marriage, they lose everything. That's wrong.
No, I didn't say they lose
What?
everything, but they lose an awful lot.
Let's stop.
Yes.
That's still wrong.
Well, why is it
What?
wrong?
Hold
Because-
on.
Let me tell you why. Because when men lose at anything in life, they lose a lot. You lose your job. Who's gonna come save you? Who, if you screw your friends over, like, as a man, that's the name of the game. You lose, you're gonna lose a lot. You fail, you're gonna fail a lot. So I'm not saying that it's wrong. Like, marriage doesn't count. I'm saying marriage is a part of all the things as a man where you cannot get wrong. Which is why I agree with the message that you're giving at times. That's why you got to be 100% serious. You don't go at this naive. You don't go at this because you understand that there is a cost for this decision. So going back to the Eastern thing, but on the West, you have marriage as all feelings.
Before he moves on, because he's gonna pack about another 30 minutes of talking words and another 90 seconds here. Did y'all hear what he said? He said, men don't lose because men are always losing. So since we're already losing, we're not losing. Wait. That's some spin action. Just keep spinning my chair, making me dizzy here. Hold on. Wait, guys. He said, men are not losing because just in life, men are always losing. So since men are always losing, it don't matter. We ain't losing because we always losing. Wait. I guess I know I took Spanish 1 for 3 years, man, but I'm not that slow. Yeah. Wait a minute. Wait. Hold on. Let me play that part back again. Let me rewind that part back.
And maybe that mindset is what's quite
Of, if you're gonna get in this agreement, you need to write out the agreement clear as day. What does this entail? What does it get? If you leave, you get this. If you leave without this, you don't get nothing. Like, it's a very systematized
Hold on.
business
Whoops.
kind of contract because it is in
It's a
essence,
business.
Whoops. There we go.
They're the most successful, by the way, arranged marriage.
we can talk about
Let's
that.
do that one more
Yes,
time.
sure.
I got to hear that one more time.
Greg comes from that mentality of if you're gonna get in this agreement, you need to write out the agreement clear as day. What does this entail? What does it get? If you leave, you get this. If you leave without this, you don't get nothing. Like it's a very systematized business kind of contract because it is in
It's a
essence
business
a
contract.
business contract
Correct.
because and this is why when you were talking about the idea of like when men fail in marriage, they lose everything. That's wrong.
No, I didn't say they lose everything, but they lose an awful lot.
Let's
here we
not.
go.
That's still wrong.
Well, why is it wrong?
Because,
I mean-
let me tell you why.
Listen close,
Because
guys.
when men lose at anything in life, they lose a lot. You lose your job. Who's gonna come save you? Who if you screw your friends over? Like as a man, that's the name of the game. You lose, you're gonna lose a lot. You fail, you're gonna fail a lot. So I'm not saying that it's wrong. Like marriage doesn't count. I'm saying marriage is a
So, because men lose a lot in life, we're not losing. It's just life. Is that what we're gathering here, guys? Is that what he's saying? Daydot, Jay, Ziggy, Rod, Mike, Steven, Jew. Is that what he's saying? Sheila, wait. Whenever men lose, we lose a lot. When we lose our jobs, there's no one to help us. When our women leave us in our marriage, we lose. So because of the fact that men naturally lose in life, because we are always losing in certain points here, we're not losing. It's just life. Oh my God. Oh man. Hey, man. Hey, man. Hey, man. Hey, you're looking at the next Republican candidate for president of the United States. Give me that more word salad. Give me that more word salad. No, I take that back. He part of the church too. He might be the Democratic nominee as well because he came before these women. Hey, come on now. Congratulations. Congratulations. You got me so dizzy. I didn't want to end the stream right now. Oh my God. Wow. 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 So because we lose, it's just life. Hey guys, I didn't say it. I didn't say it. He said it. One more time. Before I hit, we get going again. One more time, right? He said, since men naturally lose a lot in life, it's not losing because men naturally lose. So the way I interpreted, because men naturally lose, there's no point in saying that we're losing. Oh man, hey, I need my migraine pills right now. Hey, somebody, I need someone to come downstairs and bring my migraine pills for real, man. I need some coffee here. What's going on? What's going on, Tito? No notifications. Hey, man, I tell you, it be that way, man. Hey, YouTube trying to stop the grind. YouTube trying to stop the hustle, but we still here. You know, we here, we kicking it. Don't worry about it, man. You here? You can always get the playback as well. But we here though, baby boy. It's all good, man. Hey, guys. Hey, man. Hey, this is some, you know what though? The idea is, I want to say he was a politician, but no, he can't be a politician because you know what though? If we were able to break this down in a simple reaction video, he too simple to be in politics. So he can't run. Nah, we'll destroy him in a heartbeat. Nah, he's just some dude who just talking right now. We literally thought that he was somebody. We really thought that we were rocking with him. We seen him do these interviews of AMS. We watched his roommates for years. We saw the interview of Kevin Samuels, and we thought, oh man, here's this young brother. He seemed like he knows what he's talking about. These guys seem like they on the right path. They understand. That's the key. That was the key. We thought he understand. And as we keep going on here, we're understanding that no, he doesn't understand. He's just talking. He hasn't talked to other men. He hasn't reached out. There is no way that you could help men the way that he says helped men in the past and to have these talking points. You have never helped anybody. You have never helped any men through what we're talking about here if you're talking this way. All you probably been doing is just been sitting behind a keyboard or talking to a few people and interviewing people, but you have not personally talked to or helped, or just for crying out loud, just listen to men. There is no way that you have listened to men and to talk this way. Men are losing, so since we were losing, it's not a loss. Make that make sense. It's not like something my ex-girlfriend would tell me to get me dizzy so I could stop arguing with her. That's what that sounds like. Sound like something when my wife was, like say, someone who wanted to be my wife. He's like, what the heck are you talking about? Now I know I ain't gonna marry you now. You confusing me. Let's continue. I had to pause that there because he was about to go on this little tirade again. Had to chop that up here. Let's play it again. Let's hear more of his jumbo, mumbo, word salad and see if we can understand this here.
This is a part of all the things as a man where you cannot get wrong, which is why I agree with the message that you're giving at times. That's why you got to be 100% serious. You don't go at this naive. You don't go at this because you understand that there is a cost for this decision. So going back to the Eastern thing, but on the West, you have marriage as all feelings. Oh my gosh, we love each other. Oh, we don't, you know what? You make $1 million, I make $10,000. We're gonna be together for the rest of our lives. Oh, you're this, you're that. Oh, your dad was an alcoholic. We'll never have any problem. Like it's a very naive model, right? And that's why Western marriages have issues because it's all feelings. And to me, which is why I love Adam, is about balance. How do we balance these two ideologies? Because to Ali's point, if it's all logic, it's boring. If it's all robotic, there's no passion, there's no excitement, there's no je ne sais quoi. It's just a dry thing that in the modern world, people don't want that, right? But if it's all feelings, there's no structure, there's no protection, there's no wisdom, there's no guidance. So I think it's a marriage of those two ideas to be able to create long-term solutions for long-term success. And that's why I just think sometimes when we come from too much leaning on one direction, either or, it becomes problematic.
I believe he.
Okay, real fast here. He started off saying something right? West and East with marriages. He said one thing right, but that's only because of Coach Greg Adams saying that. The arranged marriages in the East, of course, and how Western marriages, we're all about emotions and feelings. And that is so true. The only thing he said right, I never forget my very first class in college, my freshman year, was Anthropology 101. And I had no idea that in anthropology that we'd be talking about marriage, right? And it was my first lesson at 18, 19 years old, learning how in the East and how arranged marriages were so successful at the rate that they are compared to the West here, and how we marry on emotions and feelings and not on logic. But then that's when we start getting into the logic portion. Everything can't be 100% logic. There's no bad. I want balanced things of that nature. We get it. We get it. Relationships are not 100% logic. No one's ever said that. Nobody's ever said in this red pill space, in this men's content, men-centric space, that everything needs to be 100% logic. We know it's emotion because we rocking with a woman. We seeing that fat ass. She's wearing that nice dress. She making her do what she do. She give you that look. We gonna have emotions, yo. We dudes. Come on. If anything, we got guys that are more emotional than women. The idea is that he keeps talking about this balance, and I want to see the balance. No, there are times where that I don't believe in balance in certain sectors. I don't believe in 50-50 logic and emotion. Wanna know why? Because a lot of things that I have to do on a day-to-day basis has to deal with logic. I know that I can be an emotional person. I know, I guess maybe you guys can tell too as well, to be as talkative and chatty as I am, to talk 2 and 3 hours a day on any topic that we discuss and how we come and congregate together, that I have to display a whole lot of emotions with logic to do a show. You wanna know something though? If I worked on 50-50 balance, logic, and emotions here, I'd be a goddamn wreck. Any man there are certain sectors where you don't need balance. Sometimes you got to teeter over on the other side to offset your weaknesses. And in this day and life that we live in, we can't just say, well, we need to have this balance with logic and emotion because we got this here, we got these red pill content, and I want things down the middle. I like balance. You know what though? Sometimes balance is not always good. Sometimes balance is not always good. Sometimes we got to teeter a little bit on the other way sometimes to get the desired results that we need. Seriously. We can't say, oh, I need this down the middle every single time because this is balance, the yin and yang. It's not every single scenario in life needs balance. Sometimes you got to be 100% one way. Sometimes you got to be 80% the other way. Maybe there may be a conversation with your significant other. Maybe it needs to be something 50-50. Something's got to be 70-30. Want to give a good point and example of mine? Well, I was joking around earlier with Bud Crawford and Errol Spence. That was a fight that didn't happen because Bud Crawford wanted balance. I don't think he was ever going to fight the man, but he feels that he wants more financial money, and he felt that he was on the same par as Errol Spence. But here's the problem. Errol Spence drives an economy to a degree. Not like Floyd Mayweather, but he's a face. He's a name. He can sign up for a boxing fight in Dallas, Texas, in Jerry World, and put 40,000 people in the seats, and then have another 300,000 buy the pay-per-view. Terrence Crawford will have a fight where that only 50 to 100,000 may buy a pay-per-view, and maybe 8 to 10,000 will show up to maybe where he fights at. You can't do a 50-50 balanced deal if one man over here is driving this kind of revenue up here and this man is down here. You don't have balance. Not everything has to be that. Y'all killing the chat today, y'all. I see what y'all saying, guys. I'm just trying to keep my dialogue. I'm trying to keep my talking points going here because it's a serious talking points, and y'all killing it right now. But y'all get it though, right? He wants everything to be balanced, but not everything in life is balanced. Because you know why? Life's life. You know why everything can't be balanced? Because life is life. That's why. He was like, I went to that recent fight in Dallas. I know you did, Tito. I know you was there. Errol's one of the few people in the sport that can do that, but Bud Crawford can't do that. So when you negotiate a deal and Bud wants balance, he wants an even split, he wants a bigger guarantee, you know what they say? No, Bud. You know why? We can't do balance because your last couple of fights, you only sold this amount of money in revenue, and Errol sold this. So if we want to talk about balance, it doesn't work that way. We know what this man does when he sells. We know what you do. So it's imperfect. And that's what life is. Life is life, and life is imperfect. Let's continue.
He agreed with me though. I thought he was disagreeing.
Well, I
but
guess
he
no,
I
agreed.
was agreeing. Yeah,
That's what I thought.
That's how I play. I was
That's
like,
what I-
yeah.
okay, you were agreeing. Okay,
So
you were
just to be clear,
Yeah.
did you get a prenup when you got married?
No, and I
You didn't.
I'll explain to you guys
Yeah.
why. So I think,
Uh-oh.
and I
He didn't get a
talked about
prenup,
this,
y'all.
I love the prenup conversation. I think it's important.
Mm-hmm.
There's 3 reasons why I didn't get a prenup. But the first reason is I actually believe prenups are good and bad. They're good because they
Good and
protect
bad.
you. They're bad because they don't protect you enough. What I personally believe is something which I did research.
I put myself on mute for a second. Man, my thing slipped here. No. He's really going to say prenups are good for you because they protect you, but they're bad for you because they don't protect you enough. Which one is it? See, what did I say about prenups earlier? I stated what I stated for a reason because I want you guys to trust me. I hope that you guys rock with me and trust me, because what he said is not what a divorce attorney would tell you. An experienced person who went to school and got good grades and practiced and been in the courtroom for 4 times a week for years. I will never say that. Anybody who says that don't have a background and don't have an authority figure. So right then and there is called cap. We're only going to play this here so we can hear how much of a goddamn idiot he is now. I preface what I said earlier because I don't want to come off saying, don't do this, don't do this. No. This is why my opinions to do this here, but do this here. I don't need you explaining why prenups are bad. I will never say that. Never. Never. Right here, there's going to be somebody who may still want to rock with him, who's going to align with him and take this bad advice and screw themselves for the rest of their lives. That's what we're talking about here, guys. Let's continue. Let's hear how bad this is going to be now.
Research about this called a marriage contract. You may not like this, but please get this to me. How many kids do you have?
3.
So let's say Allie married her man, and she said she wanted 3 kids.
Talking about a marriage
She gets married,
contract,
she
not a
wants 3
prenup right
kids.
now.
All of a sudden, prior to marriage,
okay, gotcha.
he agreed. She said, honey, I want 3 kids. Is that cool with you? He said, of course, baby. You want 3 kids? We're gonna have 3 kids. She's married. 5 years into it. Hey, when are we having our kid? Next year. When are we having our kid? Next year. It's year 8. He's like, I don't want any kids anymore. Should she stay in that marriage? He agreed.
What's that got to do with a fucking prenup?
Agreed that we were gonna have 3 kids. That's why she married him. When it was time to have kids, he changed his mind. Well, I don't want kids anymore. Should she stay in that marriage? Let's go on the guy's side, because the red pill guys love when guys are being the victim. So you're a man, and in your marriage, you agreed that we're gonna have sex, let's say twice a week. That's
an agreement.
I'm just saying
That's a verbal contract.
We're agreeing that we get in
week.
at least twice a week. All of a sudden, she's like, I'm not in the mood anymore. She's like, oh, now I'm on my
That
period.
won't be all of a sudden. That'd be almost immediate. But go ahead.
Okay, and then months into it, right?
Yeah.
She says, well, I only want to have sex once every 6 months. Should he stay there? You both agreed initially, like, yo, we're gonna do this consistently, and now he's getting it. Should he stay there? So to me, what's very important about the marriage is that before you get into it, both of you guys need to agree upon everything. This is where I think the nuance in the evolution. Agree on everything, so the woman's protected as well as the man is protected. And so to me, that's what me and my wife did. Before we got married, we talked about everything. Every single scenario, every single thing. Me, I'm not a money guy. I'm not motivated by money. So therefore, the money, like, I'm different. Everyone knows me. I'm not a money guy. So you can have all the money. I have my brain. I can start from ground zero. I'll build the money back up. I don't mind.
Oh,
money.
hell no.
But to me, because it's another argument that we can talk about later, is that
Hold on. I need a break for a second. I need a break for a second. Wait. If y'all came in here and you click the like button. First of all, you started off saying prenups are good because they protect you, but then they're bad because they don't protect you. Let me tell you why. Then he said, there's this thing called the marriage contract. Guys, you heard that part, right? That's the beginning. That's why I paused at that part there. What in the goddamn light does a marriage contract have to do with a legal prenuptial agreement? So right after there, he's not even talking about prenups no more. He's talking about you're getting into a marriage contract and you agree to do certain things, and when it doesn't happen, what happens? He literally added 3 to 4 different talking subjects and one jumbo word salad. So he, at this point here, he still has not even talked about the bad of a prenup. He's talking about a marriage contract. What the hell is he talking about, y'all? Then I stopped it here because what he just said here was the most dangerous thing that he said. I'm not a money guy. I don't care about money. I'm not a money guy. I'm a money guy. You can take all my money. I'll make it and build it back up. What the fuck are you talking about? Some 32-year-old guy's been married for less than a year talking about, oh, I'm not a money guy. I can build it back up. You know what I'm saying? You know how many men who are quote unquote not money guys? I like to use this example because my first job was at Menards, hardware store in the Midwest. Worked there for 4 years. Kind of similar to, if you don't know what it is, similar to like Lowe's, you know, Home Depot. And I know men who are department managers, who are my bosses, you know, they can make decent money. You know, my boss was making, you know, depending on, you know, they get tons of overtime, you get paid extra on the weekends, but he was making about $70,000, $80,000 a year. Let me ask you something, Hafiz. My old boss got divorced. Works at Menards. That's $70,000, $80,000 that he now has to pay child support and a little bit of assistance to his ex now because she didn't make as much money as him, but he was the grinder. He can't make that back up. He's already capped out because he's not a money guy. He's not someone on YouTube who has 500,000 subscribers on his channel and he's selling suits and selling courses. Not every man can make it up. In most cases, most men lose it all. And you're going to say, you're going to tell women, but you're telling guys, you can take all the money. I'll remake it. I'll rebuild myself up. No, guys, you should not give away your hard-earned money just to give it willy-nilly. You know what that brings? You know what that brings, guys? It's bad enough that people want to put women on a pedestal, right? We put women on a pedestal. Women know this. And you know what happens? Women know that, and they will literally get inside and juice a guy because they know that man has said that he'll give up everything and he'll make up again. So some women will go in situations knowing that they just got to stick it out for a certain period of time and then take theirs and move on to the next. But some guys can't rebuild themselves. They will take that man and he's destitute. And what we're talking about again, the men who are homeless and on the streets. This is goddamn dangerous. He is creating scenarios where men are eating guns. This is goddamn dangerous. Trying to say you can take all and I'll remake it. No, it's not her responsibility to take all your money. You work for it. You had to work them hours. You put in that overtime. You went in sick. You went in tired. You had other responsibilities around the house and you still got to do what you got to do. You had to put in that work and you just want to give it away. How about this, Hafiz? Hey, if you feel this way, Hafiz, speaking to this camera right now, he may not see this video. Who knows? Someone may clip this. If you really feel that way, how about this right now? How about you go talk to new wifey and you give me all of your money right now? Because you can build it back up, you said, right? You don't care about money. You're not a money guy. So here's what I want to do here, because I'm the kind of guy that I'm here. I'll take all your money. Now, I'm not going to keep it all for myself. Got to line my pocketbooks, need to reinvest it to the YouTube channel. But for my tribe here, I will talk to each one of my guys here and distribute it to each one of them to help them out the way you're giving away to these 304s. Or you trying to tell men to give away to these 304s. Not every single man can build themselves up. You don't realize that most men are average or below average. So the baddest of luck can send them spiraling. And you're telling people, well, you know, take it all. I can make it up. Not everybody can make it up. This is sad, y'all. This is sad. And this is dangerous. This is dangerous rhetoric. This is church rhetoric. This is what they speak in the pulpits. I had to say it like that because I've seen this too many times. I can make it back up. It's not your responsibility to make it back up. You build yourself to that point here. So why do you got to start all over again? Tito's like, he internet hustling. Facts. Demeter's like, that's impossible. Marriage does not work like that. Trust me, I know. I'm married for 15 years. Thank you, Demeter. Man, y'all killing this comment section. Tito's like, who is this dude, Dave? I'm still driving. I got to go to his page and troll. Tito, he has a channel called The Roommates. You know, they sell suits and they try to help men, supposedly. Yeah, this man sells suits. This is dangerous rhetoric, guys. That's why I want to talk about this. I don't want to hear any man speaking like this ever, let alone he's acting like an authoritative figure. This man's a decade younger than me, and he has no idea. I've been in more relationships and been in more serious than he can. And another thing, too, that I almost forgot here. He literally said when I paused earlier, before I married my wife, we sat down and talked over every single scenario for this marriage contract so that we knew what we're getting into. No, you didn't. You're 32 fucking years old. When I was 32 years old, I thought I knew every scenario, but I'm 42 now, and I know more scenarios now. You can't talk about every scenario if you ain't lived them. You need experience. You need life behind you. All you got is fucking simulacrum around your mouth. You talk like an authoritative figure. Somebody, we talk about everything. No, you didn't. I bet you right now, we sat down, I can tell you that I could probably name a few things that you two ain't even discussed yet. And that's because I live life longer. I bet you a couple of guys here in my chat here who's been divorced could probably tell you a few more things that you didn't even know and ask your wife. This is hubris. This is toxic. This is horrible. This ain't cool, y'all. Let me continue. Let me play a little bit more here. We go on for 2 hours here. Like I said, we ain't gonna go through this whole video today. We might have to do a part 2 if y'all want to check out the rest of this, you know, because we cooking right now. We getting into it. I need to get the likes up here, you know. Hey, I know this is not no Kendra G. I know we're not talking about banjis and hot thought pockets and hood boogers, you know, but I feel this is so important. Men need to hear this because we got men who are drifters who we think they're on our side. We think that, okay, this is probably a good brother. And then when we hear them speak, they're giving us advice that can ruin our lives. And he's too young to even, he's old enough to know better, but he's young enough that he don't know better at the same time. Let's continue.
That the kids is a whole different conversation. Kids are more wealth than money. So I was more obsessed with children than money because at the end of the day, like I said, we can talk about that later. But so to me, in regards to losing money, I don't care about losing money. Take whatever you want. If worst case scenario things happen. But by having a marriage agreement, both of you guys understand what's expected of you. And if one person obviously breaks this agreement, both families know. So if she wants a certain amount of kids and I say I don't want it anymore, then her family knows, though, yo, Hafiz, you promised my daughter this, you didn't give it to her, so it makes sense that this marriage is null and void.
Is this? We all understand what a
He still hasn't talked why a prenup was bad. I had to stop in the middle to get those points out before I lost everything here. He said what he said. Now we're back to the host here, and he still didn't say why the prenup was bad. He's talking about a goddamn marriage contract. That is not can be used in a court of law. If you're going through a divorce and you're talking to the judge saying, hey, I deserve this because she promised me sex 3 times a week and we didn't get it no more. Judge is going to be like, dude, you married, so fucking what? He keep talking about something that was not even involved in the conversation, throwing stuff out there to throw it out there to sound like he is more smart, to sound like he's articulate, to sound like he's an educator. Let's see if his views are the same in 10 years, Daydat says. Daydat says, man, for real. Someone said, what'd you say here? Hold on, let me scroll back up. You said, He said, Rod, wait, hold on. That's not Rod. Hey, Devin's like, he Devin Jackson's feminine brother. Dang. Hey, that's harsh to say he's his feminine brother. Yo, man, you a wild boy for that one. That's messed up. So let's see what the host's going to say here, because he's about to get into the prenup again, but he still did not say why the prenup was bad. And after all he said, no one should listen to him at all. You don't have no legal information. You don't have no legal background. You're just talking this mumble jumble word salad. It's bad, y'all. This is so bad.
What a prenup is, all right? Like
Yeah.
it's signed, lawyer, date, bing, 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 bing. What is a marriage contract?
So it
Is
can
it a
go one-
verbal agreement?
no,
Is it a written agreement?
It can be.
You're
either-
saying that the families know each other?
Yeah,
What is that exactly?
It can be. It can be one of three things, right? It can be written between you and this individual, which is the least ideal. The second ideal is you can actually get a mediator or a legal arbiter to actually sign this for you. So therefore, like in the worst case scenario, if you go to court, this is now a legal document, right? So this is a legal document that can be able to be proved in court. But I know a lot of the red pill guys don't like the idea of marriage being controlled by the state. And if you look at
Right then and there, I'm not going to act like I know everything about this part here about a mediator, but I'm going to say he sounds completely fucking off there. The putting a marriage contract so that things could be dissolved because you agree on sex certain times a day or babies here and things of that nature. Guys, hire a lawyer. This guy, like Tio said earlier, this guy's internet hustling right now. I can't answer that specific question about mediation, but you know what I'm going to say? My spidey senses are tingling right now. And you know what I say? I say, don't listen to him when he's talking about some damn marriage contract, and he still ain't got to the point of why prenups are bad. What is happening here? That this is a man that you should not take advice from. This is a man you should not listen to. He should be someone who's like, hey, how you doing, bro? How you doing? All right, just keep it moving. Hey, how's the wife you doing? She doing good? Okay. Hey, man, what you got any plans this weekend? All right, cool. Hey, yo, have a good day, man. Take care. Yeah. I mean, it should be high and by. Keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Hire a legal attorney. Hire somebody who's a professional in the field. Don't listen to him talking about some goddamn marriage contracts and let your shit break up and see what the judge says about that marriage contract by a mediator. But what did I say earlier? What did I say earlier? You hire a lawyer, and you hire a lawyer for her as well. You protect yourself by hiring a lawyer because you provided legal assistance to her as well. So the judge sees this here with the contracts that are written. No, he gonna try to say go get some stuff signed in mediation so the judge can throw your shit out. See, he sound like an undercover disguise for women. Hey, before I move on here, shout out to T. Lee with the $2 holla. That hairline alone gives me all I need to know. Damn. Hey, man. Hey, first things first. Salud. Yeah, and your hairline game do look kind of whack, bro. I'm going to say that here. Your haircut game does look whack. If I'm going to go on a panel interview, I'm not only going to wear my best suit, I'm going to be extra crispy and lined up here with my locks, okay? And right now, reason why I didn't recognize him, he used to rock a beard, and he cut his beard off. And you know what I'm saying? You look like you need to bring the beard back. I'm sorry. You need to bring the beard back. You need a whole new barber. Yeah, I'm going to go there. I shouldn't be shaming nobody. But, man, you know what, though? When it rains, it pours. You're going to talk some jankiness. We're going to break down every aspect of you, all right? Lord have mercy. Thanks a lot, T. Lee. Yeah, he do need some help with his hairline, Joe. Mike's like, Hafiz should take his own course and pay for it. See if that can help him. Damn. Andre's like, no cap, though. Hafiz has a lot more points. What do you mean he has a lot more points? He ain't making no points, Andre. He literally said that a prenup is good, it can help you, but it's bad for you. But he didn't explain why it's bad for you. He started going to a marital contract which is not a prenup. So how's he making points? He's not making points. He's just talking. What he's saying is there won't be any nuclear families are treating each other like the enemy. He's not even listening. We never said that. We're treating like each other enemy. That's what he says because we're prepping ourselves for the worse. We're having information to be guarded, and that's something that he can't see or understand because he's talking about everything but the subject at hand. But it's hard to stay on course when he talks about 5 or 6, 7 things at once when he asked about one question about the prenup. We still ain't got the prenup answer yet. You see how you can lose all credibility because people don't understand what the hell you're saying. And then when we break out what you're saying, we understand like, we don't even believe you because you don't even know what the hell you're talking about. Answer the question. Don't just throw stuff out there. He's been trained to talk, so it makes it look he's smarter. Let's hear some more about this marriage contract.
Look at a lot of traditional Eastern societies, marriage is really agreement between families. So to me, I think it's really about the families agreeing to this and the families being aware of expectations on both sides. So therefore, there's family accountability. Because what's problem in the West is there's no accountability. Like you say, if the wife...
we agree mostly on all of these things. You understand what's going on here.
That's true. There's no accountability, right? But here's the thing, though. How can we have a serious conversation when we still ain't answered about the prenup? I'm holding on to your neck here. We went from prenups to marital contracts to accountability. Here's the thing. Yes, we don't have accountability. I talk all about accountability here. But what does that got to do with the action at hand about why prenups are bad? You see how I'm trying to stay on course, trying to stay on code? I feel like we're talking to a woman right now who just doesn't want to know no better, who's a fembot that wants her way and her way only. He might be looking on the pipe dream, but look how far black people come after MLK. What's MLK got to do with this, Andre? We talking about a dumbass 32-year-old who still can't answer the goddamn question, Andre. You see, you're moving the goalpost a little bit, Andre. You know what I'm saying that? I'm not mad at you. But here's the thing here, right? Men are logical. You see how we're just talking here right now? You see how we're moving here? See how we're discussing here? And this has been going on for about 25 minutes, the 20-minute mark here of this part of the discussion here, where we're asking about the prenup. And what do we get? Prenup is good and is bad. Mumbo jumbo salad, marital contract. Mumbo jumbo, marital contract. Mumbo jumbo, accountability. How can you have a legit conversation with somebody when they can't answer the goddamn question? And then on top of that, too, do we even want him to answer the question? Because clearly he doesn't even understand how legally prenups work. So how about this one here? How about he just falls the fuck back and be like, you know what here? This is how I feel about my opinion, but I don't know this well here, so maybe I should fall back on this one. No, though, if you got my opinion, this is how I feel about it, but this is how I feel. Right? We still ain't got an answer yet. Hey, Andre, yeah, man, kill the caps lock, man. Only time it should be caps lock if people are typing likes up. Come on, man. Look, sound like you yelling. And if it sounds like you yelling, it sounds like you're trying to yell a point about something. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, come on, man. You know, we talking about a dude here who don't know what he's talking about here. Then if I see you put caps lock on everything, it makes it seem like you're agreeing with this dude. Anyone know something? There should be no, you know what though? I will make my opinion on this. There should be no man agreeing with the points that he's making here because the things that he's saying is dangerous. And what did we say here earlier? The things that they're saying is making men eat guns, like Coach Greg Adams said. So come on, man. I will say this here, it's dangerous. And then by you putting the things that you're putting into here, it sounds like that you're trying to justify his mumble jumble word salad. As men, we have to call out other men when they're going to lead other men astray. Right, tribe? Right, tribe? Now, I know we have a good time. We cat, we keek, we have a good time. We getting some reaction videos, but this is the real meat and potatoes here. This is the conversations that I wanted to get into when I got into this space here, to talk to other men here. Just like, hey, man, hey, hold on. I'm trying to build too. I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to get to my next phase of my life here. But how do I get that when we have other men giving advice that could ruin other men? And as men here, we have to call that out, because we have a lot of younger cats here in the tribe here who rock with me, saying that, yo, they call me Unc, they call me OG here. And you know what I'm gonna say? If I hear something that's a little bit off, I'm gonna say, hey man, don't listen to him. We need to go somewhere else. We got to move over here, y'all. We need to scurry over here. No. This ain't the way. This is like in Star Wars, you know, this is the way. Right? This is what we do here. We don't pander. We don't justify when we hear wrong. When we hear wrong, we call out wrong. And then hopefully when we call out the wrong, and the guy may say, maybe I misspoke, let me adjust myself better. Or if he doesn't misspoke, or if you're like Nafis and you double down, then we say, nah, no. This man's doubled down here. So since he doubled down here, we have to recognize, dude, we got to keep him at arm's length here now. Stay back, stay away, go over there, speak to women. How about that? But we don't need that here. Men's trying to build. We're trying to get better here. We're trying to uplift others. We don't need that. That's what we're talking about here. That's what we're trying to do here. That's the work that we want to do here. We want to have a good time and uplift each other at the same time and build. But how can you build when you got dumb motherfuckers talking like this here? Ziggy's like, preach, Pastor Dave. I'm just saying. Pookie's like, he's giving women the authority to step over him. It's Pookie. That's a bar. By him saying, take all my money earlier and I'll rebuild up, he's giving the advice to tell women that men can lose everything. I'll make it all over again. Giving them the authority to step over us so that we can do it all over again. Hey man, life is hard and long, and sometimes we can't rebuild ourselves up. He's giving bad advice. Come on now. And when someone gives bad advice, we say, like say somebody serving the word here in the congregation, we say, shoo away, Satan. Get behind me, like Jesus said in the church. Get away behind me, Satan. No, we don't want this here. We hear wrong. We say, hey. You might be a good brother, but you a little off there. You know what I'm saying? What do you mean? It's one thing if you're in passing and someone makes a paraphrase statement, you know, that's kind of bland. You don't want to hold into it because that person didn't get a chance to really define what they're saying. But when they sit down and they tell you their ideology, and it's like, hey, man, hey, you good brother. You might be good to your wife, man, but what you're saying is fucked up. You need to stay over there. You need to think about what you're saying here, man. You're giving bad advice. You ain't helping. You're hurting. Let's continue.
When you're talking about these marriages and business contracts and family, this is where we agree. Yeah. And unfortunately, we get into the loss into the romance and the feelings part of it, which feelings do change, right? 100%. Your feelings changed about me about a minute ago. People change, and thus, life changes, right? Thus, though, the marriage contract doesn't change with the state. So you have to have those things understood and be in the proper position.
Okay, so let me just paint a picture here. So I was married very briefly, okay?
Divorced?
Divorced, but I had a prenup. Yeah, but right.
Before we go on, Tito, he's not an L7, he's worse. Know why I want to say that? L7s are considered squares, and I consider myself a square, right? So Tito, I just want to say, I'm not calling you out. I'm saying this is worse than an L7. Tito, I consider myself a square, right? Had no problem saying that. I'm saying this is worse than an L7. Whatever, you know, I don't even know what is the proper terminology of what's worse, right? Whatever you may have then in South Carolina, I need to holler at my guys like, yo, man, what do we call worse than an L7 out here in the Chi? I don't know right now. This is worse than an L7. Just want to point that out. He's worse than a square. Russell Wilson's a square. He's just trying to fit in by being fake. He don't give his ideology. He just smiles and he try to dances, you know. He wears certain clothes. He's a chameleon, you know what I mean? Russell Wilson is an L7. He's just someone who's chameleon and it's just fake. This guy here is giving wrong information. So what's worse than that? Y'all help me out. We may need to create something worse than the L7.
In the entire, without throwing myself under the bus here, she needed to expedite the marriage. You know what I'm saying? In order to.
Yeah, I got it.
So I said, I got you, baby. I love you, but you're gonna have to sign and date here, and these are the expectations I've had if I do this for you. And it wasn't like a marriage built to last. It was I'm here for a good time, not a long time type of situation. You could read between the lines here if you know what I'm saying, okay?
Got it.
But we're still cool. Shout out to you, Lauren, if you're watching. All good. But better believe that I had a prenup in that situation. So that's when I was in my early 30s. Now I'm in my early 40s. Life's even better. Money's good, career's good, still in shape, still what you would call sexual market value peak, all right? Shout out to Rolo, who basically did a whole calculation. I'm in the 0.13% of men. I'm like, okay, my ego's pretty big already. Boom, now I just got an inflated ego. Thanks, Rolo. Boom. So life's good. But I had a conversation with a girl recently who's what I would say a very high value woman. Let's put it that way, okay? And we're saying, all right, if we ended up ever together, I would want a prenup. No. I'm not down for a prenup, is what she says. I said, well, I'm glad we're having this conversation right now before this thing gets off the ground a little bit. She's like, no. And she made some very valid points as to why she wouldn't want to sign a prenup. And I'm like, well, granted, I hear you, and emotional and all that kind of, like, I love what you said about East and West. And I said, yeah, I'm going to need the prenup, baby girl. Like, sorry,
Smart.
like, no matter whatever happens. So I'm trying to understand, like, the prenup, the marriage contract. At the end of the day, you'd be a fool as a successful guy to not establish some type of boundaries, some type of protection to say, hey, look, I hear you. You want to have this Fantasyland Cinderella Snow White vibe go down, right? Beauty and the Beast thing. But like, first marriage is almost 50% don't work. Yeah. Second marriage is, I think it's 60-something percent.
63%.
Third marriage is 75%.
Absolutely.
So like the more and more you get married, you realize, all right, this whole thing. So I'm understanding the balance between the emotional component, because you're going to have, hey, I love you. I want to be with you forever, or else we wouldn't get married.
Yeah.
But just flip a coin whether this bad boy is going to work out or not. At the same time, I hear what Hafiz is saying is like, everything can't be so robotic and so structured that you can't have any feelings and emotion. Yeah. So I'm trying to kind of grapple.
Let me pause that here, right? That's a key stat. With 53% of marriages end in divorce, the first marriage. And that's key, like when you get to the second stat. I know Mikey, I remember Mikey, you had told me this stat a while back too. How you get to the second marriage, I don't know if they had their right number though. It was like 62 to 64%. Once you know that the second marriage ends in divorce, and then when you get 3 to more, the third marriage or even higher, it's like 72%. I don't have the exact number, but it does stair step like that, right? So if you are a man of means, have a little bit something behind you, right? It only makes sense to hire the legal beaver to protect yourself. And a woman says, I don't want to do it, to tell her to kick rocks. Because look at it here. How many relationships have you been in that didn't make it? You're single because your other relationships didn't make it, right? But when you get married, you're supposed to say, this is going to last forever? No, because we know that relationships don't work. And we know what we have in the West here is no fault divorces. So when you legally can go ahead and go ahead and file for a no fault divorce, and then you have some means, why don't you want to protect it? That's not systematic. That's not robotic. They're already demonizing and castigating a process that can help you. Look, I've worked this hard. I made this money. I have these assets. You didn't contribute to that. So if we break up, you don't get this here. Plain and simple. Don't get in your emotions, your feelings. This is my house. I bought this house, not you. Or this is my condo. Or this is my townhouse. This is my pension. This is my 50 G's that I saved up before I married you. That's not before I want to marry you. This is before we're not using this for the marriage fund. This is my 401k. This is my Roth. You didn't contribute to that. How many relationships were you in that didn't make it prior to me proposing to you? So you know what? We signed this here, but before we sign it though, you have legal representation, because you don't got to think that I'm screwing you, that I'm out for something here. No. This is mine. So if for whatever reason that you fall in love with me, it's still mine. You don't get to put your paws on it. Well, I don't believe in that. Then go. If you love me, you shouldn't care about my stuff. Plus, marry me for love, right? It's the West. Marry me for love. Marry me for all my flaws and all. Marry me for my crusty toenails. Marry me for my dirty hands. Come on. When I wake up in the morning with my rotten mouth and everything, my morning breath, love me for that. Right? That's what you're supposed to be here for. But you shouldn't be thinking about my pension. You shouldn't be thinking about my 401k. You shouldn't be thinking about my Roth. You shouldn't think about my stocks. You shouldn't think about what I got in the S&H, the S&P, I mean. It shouldn't even matter. You should be able to go talk to our stuff here because you know what, though? I don't want your stuff. I don't care about your stuff. So if we break up, go. Take your stuff. That's what we're talking about here. It's not robotic. Before you want to propose to this girl here, or before you want to take this ring from this man, how many relationships that you were in that didn't work out? So that means that there's a good chance that the marriage may not work out. So don't get mad because we want to protect ourselves because now we're going into a legal agreement. It's not robotic. It's not systematic. It's called being smart. I bet you if Rihanna marries A$AP Rocky, if they ever do get married, you best believe that Rihanna's going to have a prenup on A$AP. A$AP's worth like $8-10 million. He's a rich dude, and Rihanna's a billionaire. But you know what Rihanna's going to say? I don't care if you're a millionaire. You're going to sign this prenup. We don't say nothing when women want to have the prenups because we're seeing some more quote unquote boss chicks. Come on now. It's not systematic. It's not robotic. It's called being smart. You don't deserve what I worked hard for. And men, you should not have to give that up. You put your effort into it. You were smart. You were doing your homework. You were sitting down crunching the numbers. You were being a responsible human being. So someone gets to come and take it away because the situation may not work out? No. Yo, why don't you go ahead and leave and you got yours and I got mine? Like if we were just girlfriend and boyfriend, right? It's dangerous, y'all. Continue.
Grapple this.
Can I add something to
Yeah,
this?
go.
See, this is the thing that experience offers that
Yeah.
sometimes experience doesn't. So he talked about experience and, being open-minded to experiences, but a guy who has significant investment experiences has bumped their head as well.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be called bitter. They would be called experience, right?
Good
But
job,
in this
coach.
situation, what people don't know what's behind that curtain when you go into court
Mm-hmm.
and the love is
Mm.
lost. And
Yeah.
also the agreements aren't being upheld with the marriage contract are piranhas, sharks. They typically come in the form of lawyers, judges,
Yep.
and people in that industry who make a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, once you go in that room, I'm one of the only people that have been in those rooms. It's a dark place. We call it the belly of the beast. And until you've been there, you really haven't experienced a marriage. Now, let me just say this. You mentioned the divorce. Hold on for a second. Hold on for a second.
Courtroom? You haven't been to a marriage?
Let me explain why. Let me explain why.
He would have cut
You
him off.
mentioned the 50%, 63%,
Yep.
70%. But do you know that these don't include the people who have already talked to divorce attorneys? See, many of those 50%, there's an additional percentage of people who haven't even talked to a lawyer, or I'm sorry, that have talked to a lawyer.
Wow.
And they
Right.
go on, okay, I'll stay, baby. It's cheaper to keep her.
Right.
Life, happy life.
Yeah.
I'll just accept what it is. I'll stay for the kids. I don't want to leave the house. So it's more than 50%.
So
And I
you're
want
saying
people,
tack on a couple extra percentage
we need to
points.
tack on at least 25 extra percent because there are some people who have revisited it, have visited it, and many people reconciled. So it's bigger than that. And when I add on those percentages, it adds some perspective.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, there is more than 50%. These are 50% who legally got divorced. We're adding on the people who said, oh, shit, I'll just go on to
Just
stay.
what we call thinking about it.
Yeah,
divorce.
man. I'll think about
Before you continue, that is a bar. That is so true. How many men who said, I'm done. I'm tired of this banshee. She's making my life a living hell. And then you go ahead and you actually do talk to a lawyer and you figure out that you got to sell the house and you got a nice crib to move into a 2-bedroom apartment and everything like that. And you know what you say? Damn, cheaper to keep her. I guess I'm going to have to be miserable for a little bit of time. You know what, though? I'm going to wait till the kids get 18 years old. When they graduate high school, let them get to their first year of college and everything, let them get them settled in, then let them go away to school too. They don't be in the house. They ain't gonna say no community college. We're gonna send the kids away for school and everything. Then we'll break. Then I'll go ahead and do my thing then. Cause I'll take another 10 years, but she ain't gonna take everything right now. I didn't even think about that point, Coach Greg Adams. Want to know something? He got me something to think about something here. I'm not dismissing what he's saying here. That's right. For the 53% of marriages that end, what about the ones that should have ended, but they said, I can't afford it. I'm going to take this L. Men, we take L's. I'm going to stay with this banshee. I'm going to make it work because I don't want to be homeless. I'm going to go ahead and sleep on this sofa in the basement. I'll make it work for a period of time once I'm old enough, and then I can move on. These kids need their daddy. I can't live without these kids. Let me just go ahead and deal with this here. You know what? Greg made a great point there. That is so true. For the 53%, we can easily say that you add the men who stick it out, but who literally have already checked out or miserable or going through it. Can we say easily 60? You add that 53 plus another percent, 60%? That's crazy, ain't it, y'all? It's a very interesting point. Made me think. I learned something. You learn if we're not learning something new every day, then what the hell we're doing? I learned something new. Thanks, Coach. I'm gonna say that. Thank you. I didn't even think about that point of the game here. Let's continue. We're about to stop this in a second here. We can't do the whole thing here, guys.
Think about it, or the person brought it up. If you don't do this, I'm divorcing.
Allie, let me get your perspective here. Because
Oh,
again,
Lord, here
you're
she's
the
back
anomaly,
now.
Happy
Yeah.
marriage, living a good life, and killing it on OnlyFans. You know,
Killing OnlyFans. Oh, God.
Circle back to that little, water cooler talk with your ladies.
Water cooler
Why
talk.
are
We already just broke this down.
70% of marriages are initiated by women. Sorry, divorces are initiated by women.
78%.
And then it
And
bumps up to
marriages. You were right about the first one.
100% on marriages,
Right,
brother.
right.
But and I think it bumps up to about 80% when they're college educated. So the more money they're making, the more independence they're feeling, the smarter they are. All right. What are the reasons you think that women are just over their man?
Well, I think there's a lot of too with women get in clusters and they kind of feed each other and it festers, and that's one thing I think about, like my husband and I's dynamics. I've never really talked about any marital problems we've had with
Andre, you post another goddamn comment in all caps, I'm gonna time you out. When I read my chat, that is goddamn annoying. Dude, you're getting timed out. I'm putting you in time. I ain't blocking you. We already warned you. You need to learn chat etiquette. God dang. Y'all gotta understand when we're running the show and that we are trying to be multitask here. Like I'm checking like emails. I actually got other stuff going on in the background. I got my mixer here. I'm following the chat. You know what I'm saying? For me to do what I got to do here, I don't dismiss the chat. I engage you guys. Andre, you're timed out because you already been warned. One of my moderators, which is Mikey, said, do you know chat etiquette? Do not type in all caps. Then he came back with another comment. I saw it where that it wasn't in all caps, but then the last half is in all caps. And then he comes back again with all caps here. You know what, though? I have to read this here. And you want to know something? I don't want to read look like someone is yelling at me. I did you a solid just by timing you out. The next time, you're getting blocked. Lord have mercy. Yeah, we having a good time here. And you got someone in the chat look like he's yelling, like, hey, you rocking, if you don't rock in good faith, you ain't. This is what he's doing here, guys. Here's my impression. If you don't rock with your lady in good faith, you should leave marriage alone, in all caps. He's making some good points, but I think he's doing this and I think he's doing that. It's like you got a damn megaphone like I got right now. To chat ninjas, the 8-inch crew, do you like me talking with a megaphone the entire goddamn time? I don't think you like the megaphone the entire time. It may be funny at first, but what if I did this for 2.5 hours? Lord have mercy. Megaphone's off. God. Like, you are purposely hitting the caps lock button to type if you're on your laptop, and if you're on your phone, you purposely have to hit the up arrow button 2 or 3 times so that your whole keyboard goes caps lock. What kind of mess is that, guys? Lord. Are you 10? Dude, I didn't block you. I timed you out on purpose. We don't move like that. Everybody in this chat's been here for almost 3 hours. Ain't nobody been doing that but you. You already been warned. And then when I was about to call you, I said, you got one last, and then he comes right back with another comment, and then in all caps again, after he's been warned. God dang, y'all. Seriously, people? Hey, one monkey is not going to ruin this show. Lord have mercy. Come on. All right, let's get ready to finish this off, guys. I had to do that. Lord have mercy. Dude better's like, I got way too out of hand of a laugh out of this. That's his rap game. He's a dodgeball champion. And his crew has a code. Yo, man, come on. Does anybody want to see someone type in all caps the every single comment? Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Come on, man. Let's get back into it. We got to hear the 304 talk about this here now. Ruin the whole vibe of the show.
With other people, maybe, a comment to my sister or something, but I don't like discuss our problems the same way he doesn't discuss that, because I think everyone else, has their own, like you said, biases and things that they've been through, and they may come from a different angle and put ideas in your head or your fears in your head.
You're saying misery loves company.
Misery loves
So
company.
if you're having an issue with your relationship and your marriage, oh, my man, let me tell you about my man. And then they just kind of.
We should do that. Yeah. And I think I've watched it. It's just incredibly toxic. And I look at marriage as a commitment between two people. And for me, and so when you speak about the family aspect, I feel like we didn't even have a big wedding because I don't need to share that with anyone else. It's between him and I just found it kind of corny to do so. So for me, I think a lot of women, I don't disagree with there's a lot of women out there dirty, and they will particularly prey on men who are successful I do not dispute that whatsoever.
Thank you.
I don't think there's anything wrong with asking for a prenup. I think, it could maybe change the
Wow.
tone. But a true woman that absolutely loves you would respect what you've built before you've actually, came together, and would understand if those are protections you need because of whatever you've been through in the past. If you were a woman who was in love with you, you would honor that and sign the prenups.
If I could, I almost want to kind of get a listicle, and I get you don't speak for.
Two things could happen at once. You heard what she said? She's one of the few women that says, I don't mind a prenup. You know why she says that? Because she's making money, y'all. She on OnlyFans making so much money. So, of course, if she got out of a situation with her cuckold husband and got remarried again, she gonna get a prenup because she getting that paper. She getting that guap. Whatever she's doing with her OnlyFans, whatever she's doing with that, hey, man. Yo, that's why, man. Hey, well. Andre, you're back now. And Theo, of course, I know I'm talking about you. Had the volume down, didn't know you were blasting me until a minute ago. Andre, I timed you out. I don't care about having the volume down low. People in the chat have told you, do not talk with caps lock. It looks like you're yelling, like what I am doing right now. You should understand chat etiquette, especially within the YouTube game. People hate people when they type everything caps lock. And you heard that because someone like Mikey said, learn chat etiquette, and then your next message was half uncapped, then the other one was full cap. So Theo, I wasn't talking about you, do better. But I don't know you like that. I didn't know your name was Andre. Andre, understand how to be in the chat, bruh. Come on. Lord have mercy. You don't type with all caps on. You're not 12. That's what teenagers do. That's what my nephew does and my nieces do. Lord have mercy. What I was saying here, though, got thrown off here for a second. She said that she don't mind a prenup because she's an OnlyFans. She's getting it. Women who got something to lose, of course, going to agree with it. But what did she say right after that, though? She said, might want to change the tone. What's tone mean? Feelings. It's not what I like. It's not what I feel. If we change the tone, change the temperature, then I might like that. That's how women move. They don't like the tone. They don't like the temperature. But this is how men speak. This is how we talk. We're direct. We're to the point. So you see how she agreed with it, but she doesn't like the tone. Caught that? Caught that? And on top of that, too, when she said she didn't want to get down with these other women in the water cooler, what do we break down to? Earlier, she's a 304. She's not going to have these water cooler discussions because other women know that she's an OnlyFans girl. So she's not someone that you want to talk to in this space here. If anything, she just needs to listen and be like, okay, and nod her head. Because when we talk about, I said she wasn't an anomaly. Yeah, she's an anomaly because she's the only one on the panel who's getting money from a woman's perspective because she's the woman on the panel. That's what makes her the anomaly. Let's continue.
Speak for all women, and either will Natalia, and then I want to turn it over to the men. But if you could put a top 3 reasons why a woman is looking to divorce.
No, matter of fact, you know what though, guys? No, they're about to go to another subject here. Here's the thing. Let me pause here for a second, guys. Let me pause for a second, guys. We've been going for almost 3 hours here, right? I wanna stop this part of the video right now. It's a lot, guys. Woo. I got a few minutes here left. I know I was gonna go 3 hours here, right? I want to stop. You know why? Because they're about to go. Here's the reason why I need to stop right now. First things first, Nafis, I can only take so much of this. You guys are, I know some of you guys were checking out and everything. I can't hear this guy no more, right? But here's the major thing. He's about to go to another section. And what did I mention for a period of time earlier in the top of the hour for about 20 to 30 minutes? We still do not have the answer after all this time why he said prenups are bad. We're still stuck on, after all that talk and all that mumble jumble, the marriage contract. This man's dangerous. This man is dangerous. He's only 32 years old, you know, but not all channels are built the same. No, let me do this here, guys. Give me 1 second. I want to do something here. I'm going to do a quick search here, guys. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me do this. Okay. Let me do this. Give me 1 second. Let me do this. Let me get there. I don't want no videos playing in my background. Here's what I'm going to do here. Not all channels are created the same. Okay, here we go. I went to the roommate's channel here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna bring on the screen. Let me do this here. Let me stop sharing. And then let me present this here. Let me do this here. Let me see here. Let's do this. And let's bring this on the screen here. All right. I want to look at this channel here. So I'm looking at this channel here, and over almost 500,000 subscribers, 527,000 subscribers, right? So I'm looking at this channel with over 500,000 subscribers, and I say to myself, wow, this is a big channel, right? Almost 500,000 people, right? This is very dangerous, but clearly there's been a pivot in their content where even though it's that many, it's not having the type of views that you would think that a 500,000 subscriber channel should have. For example, let me just go do this here. Like I see their last videos here. They don't post regularly here. See, 7 hours ago, they got 1,300 views. Then a week ago, they got something that says 10,000 views. Some men only want to see the world burn. Marriage, nihilism. Okay, from the interview here. So this got 9,200 views about a week ago. The Christian way of becoming a superior man, 3,200 views. Become the top 1% man spiritually and biblically, 4,500 views. Ladies, would you respect this man? 5,700 views. Solving the challenge of manhood today, 7,200 views. The best relationship advice for men today, 15,000 views. 5 things you should do that saved my life, 5,400 views. Why men are frustrated with women today, 10,000 views. You get the point, guys, right? You guys get the point I'm saying here? I want you guys to understand YouTube. Just because he has 500,000 subscribers doesn't mean that people are chiming in and listen to what they got to say anymore. There was a period of time where people were checking for him and watching him and had great views. But if you have 500,000 subscribers, there's no way that you're dropping videos that's getting the same amount of views that a person like me with 13,000 views is getting. Now, I know that I haven't dropped as many reaction videos lately because I told everybody I'm working on my craft here and I'm going to get back to reaction videos. Don't worry about that. You know, reaction videos and some other content. Doing live streaming is such a hard practice and feat, and I want to work on things at my pace here, you know, and I know that I'll be burning the candle on both ends when I'm trying to live stream for 2 hours and then trying to drop reaction videos. I'm taking things at my pace. This is my product. This is my channel. This is my business. So I'm taking it one at a time. But you want to know something? When I drop reaction videos, I'm a channel with 13,000 subscribers. I get just as many views as this crew here who has 500,000 subscribers. What's that saying? The people ain't listening to him either. His own tribe ain't listening to what they're saying. There was a period of time like me when I first heard about him and I watched him and I saw the interviews and I saw the good talking points and everything. Didn't subscribe to the channel. I look like fat Al Sharpton and Clarence Thomas lays. What's up? Damn, Tracy, why are you talking about yourself like that? You Biggie? Black and ugly as ever. However, I say, Gucci down to the socks. Hey, man, come on, man. You gotta treat yourself better than that, Tracy. Come on, man. Those are the guests that he had on the show. So, clearly, there's a lot of people here who didn't know who he was till he got in these platforms and these interviews like Pearly and this video here of Coach Greg Adams. But obviously, his own people who support him are of the same ilk that what we're saying here right now, guys. That doesn't make any sense to have 500,000 subscribers and you're only getting 7,000 views. You know what that means? The people who subscribe to the channel don't even rock with this. They don't even believe what he's saying or what his team is saying. They're not even rocking with him. But we need to go on top and say, no, on even a bigger note, until you clean up your act and understand to listen, no one should be listening and subscribing to this content here right now. Do what you want to do. I'm going to give you my opinion. This man is dangerous. This man can do so many things that could be harmful for men. And his own subscriber count is telling us that. How is it that a lowly YouTuber like me with 13,000 subs is able to get as many views as this guy, this crew here? You have a far reach. You have a far wide net. You've been here for years and I'm able to get as many views as you are. That means that whatever you're saying, the people ain't rocking with you. You built this huge platform and everybody is saying, nah, God, we good at what you saying. Nah, hold on. Let me look at that one here. One video. Let me scroll back up. Hold on. He has a video that says, ladies, would you respect this man? Solving the challenges of manhood today. The best relationship advice for men today. You want to know something? I don't think you can give me no relationship advice, man, for the way you talking. Why would here's the thing now that we're putting out here. Now that we know how you rock in relationships here, why would we even want to click on any of these videos? You sound like you don't know what you're doing. You are newlywed. Now, if you were interviewing somebody who was older, who had the experience, who had the authority figure, that might be different. I want to see who you're interviewing. But if you're talking from your own vernacular, who the fuck are you? Mike's like, he's not listening to his analytics. Facts, Mike. Mike's like, he's trying to fill in for Derek Jackson since he knows he lost his core, which were men, so now got to get the women. Here's the thing, Mikey. Women ain't even watching for this. If he was really as Derek Jackson, Mikey, women will be eating this up. The views will be going up. No one's watching this. And he's being exposed right now. And here's what I'm thinking too. I don't believe in canceling nobody. I don't want to see anybody lose their money and stuff like that. You know, you build a career on YouTube, you build a platform, things of that nature. Here's what I want. I just want him to just sit down, to listen what men are saying. to understand what men are going through, to get out of his own circle, to get out of his own echo chamber, to get out of his own way, to listen to other men who are on the same plane as him, who are above him, who are, of course, below him. Hear what men are talking about. This is not anecdotal that men are hurting. It's not anecdotal, y'all. Men are going through it. And it's guys like him that help other men be silenced. It's guys like him that men struggle. It's guys like him when women see this kind of content and they say, see, he's saying it, so y'all need to fall in line. It's another form of sign language. Shame, insult, guilt, and need to be right. So I don't want him to be canceled. I want him to take a step back and to say, you know what, though? If he can take a step back and say, yo, I'm getting this backlash for a reason. Let me take all this in. Let me fall back and let me listen to other men. Let me learn to be wise and use discernment and take in what these men are saying and to see what am I doing is wrong. Maybe that so I can stop hurting people so I can go ahead and help people. But for now, you need to shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut your ass up. Sit your punk ass down. Take those monies for them suits and sit your punk ass down. Sit your 32-year-old ass up. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Older men like me hear that bullshit and don't know what the fuck you talking about. 32 years old. Last thing here before I move on. You 32 years old, and I know it was a panel debate, but Greg Adams was 46 years old. Where, I didn't feel the respect. Even if I don't rock with Coach Greg Adams like that, there should be a level of respect for someone that's older, that's an OG who's been through some things. Even if I don't align with you all the way, there should be a level of respect. And he don't have that. So the fact that he ain't got no respect, we don't got to respect him until he find his way. Hey, man, I'm going to stop on that, man, with this part of the video. Hey, do I need to do I don't know. Maybe I don't know if I want to do a part 2 on this particular video, or I go ahead and we can pick up and see how disrespectful he is on the Pearly video. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, how about this here? You guys come into my comment section of this video here and let me know if you guys want me to finish off this video or we go ahead and do a live stream on the Pearly video. I know people are touching that as well, but you know what though? Y'all ain't those other tribes. You're not in those other chats and we have a good time here, so I could do either or. We'll figure this out here. I need you guys to come into the comment section, but you know what though? I'm done with this right now, guys. I can't do no more of him. I need a shower. I feel dirty. I feel dingy. Have you heard the word dingy in a while? I feel dingy. What's going on, Cold Fusion? He feels dingy. Yeah. People saying Pearl, get Pearly. I hear you, y'all. Yeah, I feel dirty. I need to take a shower. I need to go eat. I'm gonna take a shower and I'm gonna eat dinner and I'm gonna, move on from this here, But, I'm going to get out of here, guys. We've been going for 3 hours, man. It's such a great show today. I appreciate all y'all for coming through. As always, click like, subscribe, comment, click on that bell notification below. Yo, man, this was a good show, man. I appreciate y'all for coming in. I'll be back again. Look out for the thumbnail, We'll see if we do part 2. We come to Pearly Things. Everybody in the chat saying Pearly Things. When I end here, go in the comment section of the video and let me know what video we want to do here if we finish this up or we go to Pearly and get into that discussion as well. But I got to get out of here, man. It's been good. Yo, until next time, I'm out of here. But as always, I'm that dude named Dave. I'll see y'all later, YouTube world. Peace.